supposed to be sleeping, so the quality of the video goes down immediately. Still have to work on myself. There's no reason to expect a viewer in the first place. But does it actually happen to this day? Well, who cares, right? It's one of those who cares moments. And also, very much who fucking cares moments. Everyone cares about Dr. Phil, because I need one, right? Oh, man. Is it fun to suck? Is it fun to be dislikable? Yeah, fighting boredom is just what you have to do. Or you become suicidal instead. Pretty sure if people driving cars, it's not fun to stay on the road. There are simple rules that you have to follow, and the way you have to work your life through. Right now, again, I'm not supposed to make this video, I'm tired. I should be sleeping, but maybe we'll find a reason. Maybe I have to make videos every time. Maybe that's the only thing I do. And I would say, like, just do your work as well. You know, the first thing to do is reminder. Inspire yourself to do work. Very big reminder. Not even advice. Because I don't give advice. I just, like, remind yourself, because it's very important for you to do. So yeah, and I'll definitely mark. In some situations, it's not fun to be on the road. On foot. Okay. Against cars. And you pretend that you have some kind of a leverage because you're on foot, because you can wave your hands and show signs of what you want to say and shit. But people are in cars, and they want to do their own things, basically. And in general, people want to do their own things. The problem is, if everyone takes liberty, none of it might be actually left. Alright? It's almost like if all of us take all of the fucking resources that society provides, all of those resources, potentially we don't have much to live with. And it's almost like, yeah, that's good. No. No, because everyone took it. We didn't just try and save up or take care of the resources that we get. We just took it, so we didn't generate those resources by any means. And there can be a resource like liberty where, like, we take maximum amount of resources that we can handle, and then society's missing a bunch. It's obviously metaphorical. It's too hard to actually explain. We need more matrices. Do we have to clean this one up? Double Joker, all that shit. Yes, we'll have to clean it up. Definitely this one is like super cool. But we mapped it out. It's all good. You know, the most important part is not what I draw here, but what I write down here. And now, the other most important part that I feel, let's just calculate how many times we ranted already. Because it was a lot. Not every video is a rant video, by any means. I know people would be really easily getting bored by now, seeing all of this. But the question is, how much do you have to catch up for until you can realize what has been done? Alright, so, I start off with YouTube Battle Royale, but those are not necessarily rant videos. I'm not sure exactly how they work either. It can be pretty bad. And yes, technically get thumbs down for shitty thumbnails. How about that? I hate it, okay? I would love to just be a thumbnail of a food item or something. Something super simple. But I don't feel liberty on that. You know, I actually don't feel like I can do it every single time. If I just click one button of a nice randomly generated thumbnail, just click a fucking button, and there you have it. I pick a theme, fucking shop for that one thing. And by shop I mean spend time. Yeah, maybe I would do it. Is there a thumbnail shop out there? YouTube video thumbnail shop. Buy video thumbnails. Oh, you want me to fucking buy it? Oh, of course. No, not very accessible, okay? Alright, random. Generator. Get. Oh, look at you. Maker. It gets so fucking frustrating at some point. Now, first thing I would ask is like, does this convenience is taken away by someone else? Don't we need something as convenient as this? Right? Don't we need someone conveniently figuring out for us what thumbnails to use and how to label videos in the first place? Okay, maybe not. Maybe rant video is a rant video. It has to be ugly. Just because. So I start somewhat next to my birthday. No. These are royales. No need to fucking worry. Still a royale. Still going. Still fucking going. Still not really. Alright, so I immediately start ranting about Minecraft. That's the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, 6. 6. Okay, that's cool. I do hate being liked or disliked. I like hearing people's opinions. You know, I like an actual resource. So, neither like, dislike, or subscribe is an actual resource I can use. So, you know. You would think it's a resource I can use. It's like this video is gonna go up in rating, hopefully. Or subscribe, my channel goes up in rating. You would think that's something I can use as a resource. For bragging rights, that's what people do. Like, it's the most basic way to quit something. Quit caring about something. That's the moment you don't care about your YouTube channel anymore. And you don't care how the video is actually performing. Just hoping to get views. Yay. I think, yeah, I should have done this by now. I should have figured out, oh, we're gonna do it actually. We're gonna do a YouTube thumbnail generator. Just gonna do it. Alright? Or, even better, we're just gonna actually make ourselves some thumbnails by looking at the titles and trying to get the fucking feeling of what I was talking about. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'll take this as a rant video. 24, 25, 26. I was battling with my fucking computer charger. Can you believe it? 27. Convenience. When a business takes liberty to not really deliver you what you need. I need something. I need something to work. That is an emergency. You can't take liberties. You just have to do whatever it takes at this point to make things correct. Alright? You just start owning things. Yes, it might actually cost you more than you actually get. But like, yeah. Shouldn't a business try and help people instead of shutting themselves down with anger? I think it's easier to actually discount videos that don't make it on the list. So we started with 6. Let's actually remove every single below 3. That's just 3. So 27, that's 33. Okay. 33 rant videos. Any exclusives? Or exclusions? Actually, no. No exclusions. Lots of dislikes, though. Yeah, tell me more, dude. Tell me more, Mr. Dislike. What is that? What is that you know that I don't know? Cause like, you know. It's offensive that you know something I don't know. Plus, I have an open ear, just for you, dude. You know, I have an ear. You can tell me what you know. Don't have to dislike. Don't have to turn your fucking patience into a button, into a click of a button. You know, you lost your patience. Where are you gonna put it now? All right, or you're losing your patience. Where are you gonna put your patience? You gotta put it somewhere. You're gonna press that dislike button. That's your achievement in life. So we have 63. That's unbelievable already. 63. What the fuck? Are we excluding anything here? And every single rant video has its own story to tell, clearly. 93. I just sit here, sigh, and just let's get this over with. So we definitely exclude the hit pieces. They're kind of a rant video in their own ways. This is excluded for exclusive things, and that's it. And that is another 30. Because that's just how it works. So that's 24. 93 plus 24. This would be rant video 118. Now, specifically, yes, they rank up in value. They get better every single time. Hopefully. And yes, this is a fucking 8-hour mess that someone disliked, and I still don't know how to improve myself. That's the way to go. Yes, it's very easy for me to dislike myself. Very easy, by the way. I almost can dislike every single aspect I know about myself. But that's just called improvement, right? You sit in the middle and you're like, draw yourself a circle. Oh, I don't like this because it should be here. And it's like, sure, just like everything else should be there. And then when you fucking see my perspective, the way that I sit, and the way that I struggle, you know, I'm not living your life. Wake up. Very simple. And it's actually quite... No, it's a star moment for me. Not living your life. So, fix your life first. Before attempting to interact with me. You know? It's very tough. Communication interaction is very tough. Potentially impossible. You know, I make it impossible because I actually expose it for what it is. Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever is fucking entertaining. So communication is one of those parts in life that not fun at all. Because people just don't know how to do it. It's not that difficult. Just have to understand that not necessarily a part of your life. You would have to pay if I make a game, you know. If I give it for free, that means I'm suicidal. That means I don't take care of myself, alright? And I just let you eat me, basically. You want to fucking eat me? Eat me. I give it up for free. But, as you might guess, there's no guess. Who knows what's gonna happen with my engine? The first thing you can guess is it's already costing a lot. Just like Hytale is costing a lot. People have no access to it. Alright? We can talk about it. There's no access to certain games that we like. Skyrim 2 is pretty expensive to me. Sounds pretty expensive because it's not there, you know. The most expensive things are the ones we'd like to have, but we can't. And then the reasons just kind of stack up together, one by one. Nice. Can't have it, so we're gonna use this ticket of a shortcut. Buying me is gonna get harder and harder every single rant video I make. I'll first ask people to pay me. Just tell me what I did in the rant videos, so I would know what I did. You know, pay me the me credit. I want to talk to myself more. All right, I don't want to talk to you. You have nothing good to say, so at least let me talk to me. What did I do? Rant video number 1, number 2. All right. I've made 117 rant videos. So this is number, and it's important to have numbers, sure. 118. I'm gonna be so crippled while I make this video because I'm supposed to be sleeping and I'm not. I'm hurting myself. That's just how life works. The only thing good about life, if you pinpoint yourself down in history and you're like, okay, let's look back 10 years ago. Oh shit. Technology goes to shit 10 years ago. Our access to things goes to shit. So I think the real power we have is patience. For me personally, I'm like, the worst thing I can do is build an engine. It's the worst thing I can do. The best thing I can do is enjoy life and tell you how to do it. That's the best thing. How to save up more money. How to give you guys things that are actually kind of free and how to enjoy them more. How about that? That's for free. I can do that. When I feel appreciated. If I don't feel appreciated, if everyone takes their liberties and I don't know where to go, then, because like, there's only a certain amount of streamers that can actually happen. There's only a certain amount of YouTubers that can actually happen. Everything has a limitation. Also, almost like a hardcore limitation. To the point. Wait, in order to have an entry, you have to be a big person that people can recognize already, which is impossible, right? People want impossible things. People want expensive things too. That's what liberty makes it to be, I guess. If everyone takes liberty, everything gets expensive too. And impossible. We could be learning, we could be pushing forward a bit more. But I'm kind of losing the grip. I'm like, what the fuck is life about again? Patience? Learning how to wait? God damn it. I'm probably very good at it. And I don't appreciate myself. I don't feed myself happiness. I don't feed myself self-esteem and all that shit. Which I have. Awesome. Reflection. Meditation session. I mean, imagine that, right? So I release a rant video every 3 days. Guaranteed. Every 3 days a rant video. That's what I've been doing this year. And that's actually scary now. Because it has been pretty consistent. And it has been somewhat useful. But I'm just looking. I'm almost like digging through trash. Because being smart is trash. Being smart does not help me at all. to deal with feelings, I would say. But eventually, I have hope. Eventually, the problem is solved. The problem is that the world is pretty big, and just being smart is not good enough. Certain problems keep reoccurring, alright? In other words, being smart often enough gives off reoccurring villains to beat. Because the moment you're smart, people will actually recognize that you're not capable of solving certain problems that they have dealt with in life, and they cause those problems onto you just for fun. It's like, when are you gonna beat me? Basically, type of problem. So the government can definitely create that sort of problem where, well, what are you gonna do about us, overpowering you? The overpower methodology in general is a huge problem. The main solution is obviously you're a stranger and they don't have a right to target you specifically. They have to turn you not into a stranger anymore. So they can call you weird and all of a sudden target you then, but they still have to be realistic about it and not be weird themselves and not become a target themselves as they call me out. Who knows? Right, that's the fight against the government. Is actually quite a deep dive. I want to know what people around me are doing. Clearly, I mean, I'm curious, and I'm not Rebecca Black type curious, where I ask a question. Tell me something good about your day. I hope you caught that. Okay. My day is Sunday. I actually replied, and I had to sit down and think about it to the point where I have a reply that I'm confident about. I had to push that shit into my comfort level where it's there. It's very edgy. I can say what happened. I can say my social security number immediately, and say yes. Say yes to someone. Never do that. Never ever. When someone asks you, never say yes, because that is the weakest thing to do. Alright? This is what people take liberty for. They take liberty for themselves to say yes to things. And that means they take liberty to spend liberty. No! That's why we say no first. That's why rejection is so important. Never say yes. Just like that. Just because someone asked. People take liberties and then they take liberties from other people. And that's what makes them big. And bigger. And stand them out of the crowd. And that is still, celebrity status is still not tier 2. No matter how you fucking look at it, I couldn't find it to be tier 2 because it belongs to a platform. It belongs to a trend. It's like a human being trying to be a flag. And it's working very well because they lose tons and tons of liberties, and they lose liberties for other people as well. It's almost like losing liberty is a job. Alright? And it's one of those reminiscent points of where I said there's another job which is taking away your wealth, stealing your liberties, but that is literally the same thing. And I would say it's a star because it's so reminiscent of what I used to say. It's just a reoccurring star, a reoccurring villain. It's now a villain. Maybe it's a good thing if someone is a recurring thing. So I would say I will actually heart this. My first heart. It's like I found something that maybe whatever reoccurs is something I said yes to, but I didn't say yes to everything. So then clearly I like certain things more than others, and I have to understand that whatever I allow to reoccur, whatever I allow to reoccur is gonna be a big deal, I would say, in life. I wanted it or not. Alright? It was my choice. It's the choices that lead us to a certain life. I hate myself. Today I hate myself. Maybe I was completely obliterated by stress of just like, hey, you might be going to a hospital. Police might knock at your door any moment. You have to be able to resist this. Also, you have to know every other thing in life that would benefit you. That's very important. And you might want to take action for that. But I know you're not going to take any action. So I'm not going to bother you with that. Oh, and yes, you have to keep developing your engine because that's pretty cool. Alright. That's pretty cool. But then I miss the most important part, and the most important part is like being happy. I miss that. Somehow everyone took their liberties on me. They took a dump on me, and the part that matters the most is like, am I happy? Did anyone even fucking tried to not dump shit on me, basically? And how the fuck does that look like? How do you evolve yourself into a human being that does not hurt happiness, you know? I think happiness, just like wealth, can be a totally natural thing. Can be, but see, the most scariest thing of all that I find myself in, alright, life itself, alright, life, or reality, detecting a reality, a certain level of reality, alright, no, I have to write it down. It's so much easier to write it down, actually, than draw it. What if what if my life sucks and it's not worth it? And most of the time the answer is almost yes, because you cannot say 100% yes to anything, as I've said. So the question is how much you can push it, basically. Not worth it. Because the first thing that you have to ask yourself is like, okay, that's a suicidal thing to say, so what is the first thing about you? What is the list of things that will start dying when you decide that you're supposed to die? What is the first thing? Because you don't want the most expensive things to die, do you? Or do you want to pop yourself like a bubble? So, yeah, for me it's kind of interesting, because if I look into people's lives, the first thing I see that will die is their pets. Their pets will die immediately. Their pets might... if you're suffering depression, you will not be feeding your pets. And when your pets are dying, they will eat you, basically. This is like the most literal sense of being eaten. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Unless your pets really respect you somehow. But other than that, you put yourself in a very awkward spot. I mean, that's kind of fucking crazy. Yes, you can just throw your pets out on the streets. Then you have created potentially another evil being on the streets. And we're almost like creating a jungle in that sense. I would say like this pet apocalypse is just waiting to happen. Alright? Sounds... it's a possibility. And whenever there's a possibility, and if life sucks, the bad possibilities do in fact, you know, tell their own stories. Sure, like you're gonna start policing pets and capturing them and putting them in little jail cells and shit. You're gonna be doing that as your job. But first of all, that doesn't make life any better. Whoever has to do it, their life sucks now. And now you have to figure out how to not make them angry, basically. So, how about police apocalypse? Is it happening right now? Are police people angry or not? Or maybe they're bored. You know, what is if the opposite is true? What if a job exists and it's bad because it's so good? Alright? Because it fucking puts people on a greed machine, basically. But it's only good because you are pretty much in a, or maybe in a pet situation. But you're not, like, you're being fed, like, You're almost like harmless, but you're always gonna defend your master, pretty much. You're always gonna give power to your master. So you are a pet, and you're gonna attack anyone who disagrees. You know, anyone who wants to take liberty from your master, you're gonna fucking bite their ass off. Because now you're dependent, pretty much. A pet is dependent, and that's another thing. That's what a police person is, or any dependent person is, who has to attend difficult things sometimes. Only sometimes, though. I mean, we already see. It sounds fun, you know. It sounds harmless. Sounds impossible. But people walk their fucking dogs, and they don't walk themselves out anymore. They try and combine those two things together. I say it's nuisance. I see everything in life right now as I sit through another rant video, except for a rant video. My rant video is where I actually live a fulfilling life. I wish I would be that person that rants every single time, and people actually like it. People actually figuring out how to enjoy it in the end. Alright? Turn a drinking game out of it. Now, that's another question. It's like, how can you enjoy things that are obscure? Or do you always have to trust the popular culture or whatever? You should trust things that care about you, first of all. And I definitely do. I got nothing better to do. I'm not here to have a pet. I'm here to take care of you. Whoever you are, whatever you need, I'll take care of you. You think you don't need help? We live very shitty lives then, don't we, if you don't need help? You know, it's like... Wow. I would love to lose myself. Any moment. And pretend that there are no human beings around us. We don't have relationships with each other whatsoever. We don't need anything from each other ever. So communication is just one of those nuisance things that never supposed to happen, including in prisons, right? Everyone's supposed to gang up and go into their little cults, basically, you know? Let's make cults, but not conversation. You know, that's the fucking difference, right? You either have one, either or, right? Either or situation. Alright, you cannot have both. You cannot have a cult and have conversations anymore. Because that's why you have no that's why you have a cult, to not have any conversations anymore. To not relate to other people. You have a cult so you feel comfortable. Because you're surrounded by people that understand you without the need of conversation. Which is like, why? Why would you fucking put yourself in such a boring situation, right? And here you go. That's the least fun. I think I found it. I think I found you. The least fun part of life. I think cults are out there and they're everywhere. The traditional lifestyle of whatever that fucking is. Because usually traditions are the most vicious and unreasonable things. Alright? That your life is gonna offer you. Tradition of like whatever a business person's supposed to think. I'm gonna discount 10% for your next purchase. If you do this, this, and that, and you have to do this, this, and this, that. Alright? I'm not asking for much. I mean, I'm gonna pay for it, in a way. But I'm gonna discount 10%. Please care about me. Please don't think that I'm problematic and burn down my business whenever there's a possibility to do so. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to just burn down businesses just so people start struggling again. That would be just super fun, you know? Because somehow I have like tons of invitations to become a member of a cult, and you know, that kind of sounds like, oh, you want to steal my liberties again situation, you know. Reminder, becoming a part of a cult is a way to burn your liberty. Yet again, just one more way to burn liberty. It's just the funniest thing, isn't it? Because there's tons of invitations. Become a member of a cult. And there's no actual invitation for a conversation to exchange goods. Of like, you have more of this, I have more of this. Wow, so simple. Let's try and exchange that. And be on our way. Not hostile to each other at all. Am I missing something? Yeah, it's almost like maybe I am missing something, you know. I'm missing the power button, you know. Now, the only thing I am missing is power button. You know that thing that powers on the actual smartphone? You know, the one in your brain? I'm kind of missing the power button. Oh wait, it's somewhere, you know, external. Another human being is the power button. You have to find that fucking other human being. I know where a power button is. Just can't really find. I know how it looks like. I just can't really find it. Okay, and for me, it's almost like a funny haha moment, basically, actually, because like I have a certain personality, and I can bend it to some degree. But the more I bend my personality, the more screwed up life actually is, and the more I have to kill myself. I just have to, as my duty to kill myself. Imagine that, you know? Imagine going that direction. You know, I don't have infinite amount of patience, which is like why these rant videos are so fucking amazing. You know, eventually I'm not sleeping and dreaming of dying. You know, I'm not doing that. Instead, I'm trying to put the blame out there for you to chew on. Take your little blame, little pet, little shit, you know? Little dislike button. It's my little pet now, okay? I guess it is a resource. It's a hungry little mouth that needs a fucking dick in your mouth. Dick in your mouth. Have it. Have it your way then, you know? Imagine. Well, I say imagine, but maybe don't read this statement, which is, let's label it with skull, alright? Don't read it. Don't do it. It's absolutely the highest level of sarcasm you can ever reach, basically. Absolutely. And that's me right there, Mr. G. I have reached the G spot. That's kind of funny, isn't it? Almost every single one labeled with a new emoji. I would love the world to just open up to me and give me liberty to not try anymore to be something in life. Because that's the base position to be at, you know. To not feel gravity is the base position in life. That helps you reach for happiness a lot easier, you know. Happiness is a lot easier to reach when gravity is low, you know, whatever that fucking means. Well, social pressure usually is the gravity. Social pressure, so the way that you compare yourself to other people, if I found another person to compare myself to, that I feel it, I know how to compare myself with this person, you know. The baseline, the things that we're proud of, our self-esteem is kind of on the same level, and our growth, reaching for potential is at the same level. So, two things in, and then we put ourselves down on a comparator. I'm like, okay, every day now, we're gonna compare our results or whatever. And hopefully, we are making the same amount of progress in that sense. Yes, every day that I make a rant video, I feel I'm working, I'm making progress, it's important. It's very difficult to replicate that sort of work, but it's very liberating because it reminds you can do work. And then you have to remind yourself, yes, some work does not fucking pay a fucking cent. Because it pays in every other resource except that one thing that you think you need, and that is the last resource that you ever get. And again, a reminder, money and respect is the last resource you will get and need. Alright, it's the last thing. It's the thing that when you're dying, when terrible things are happening, people will start respecting you and gift you money. Alright? Respect means they will attempt to help you, and money means you will have opportunities to help yourself too. And that's it. But that's because you're dying. If you're not dying, well, not dying in front of everyone else, because that's embarrassing, almost. You're getting such a level of embarrassment that you do get those resources that come last. They normally come last, but you know, it's I guess you are the last. You're not gonna outlast anyone. So you're gonna get the last resources. That is the craziest thing. That's the last nail in the coffin that I call survival tooltips. Alright? Because there's a handful. There's just a handful. You just have to learn how to... what consent is. What does yes mean? Why you don't give 100 consent to anything ever. Alright? Why rejection is in some ways just inevitable. Right? And it can stack up too. But you have to control your rejection too. You have to reject bad things to the way that you don't actually have to physically or exclusively reject it, right? You don't have to press that dislike button, that ban button, all those fucking monkey buttons, basically. Alright? Reject things before you have to do it physically. The moment that actually happens, it should be like a terrifying moment. You actually have to do it. You have to actually aim a dislike button at someone. You actually have to ban someone. That is the most terrifying thing that ever happened to you. And you have to ask yourself, if you're the one to blame, basically. Because right now, the craziest thing is, as we went through the school experience, and I was, hitting on a girl, and she did not like it very much, but obviously, that's an opportunity to me be hated on. And my classmate, my most vocal classmate, chose to hate on me, which is like terrible choice. It's like you have nothing better to do. You're the most vocal person in the fucking group. You have everything else to do in life, basically. Everything else to do but say anything to me. And, well, he didn't say anything otherwise. He just kind of spit on me, because that's what most vocal means. It's like, I know how to spit now. I know how to look at someone very angrily. And it's almost like the self-esteem is there, but it's like it's doing less and less every single time something bad happens. Yeah, so I feel sorry for the person who lives a completely inverted life. Alright, so he says, I said something and it's like, oh, that's what a predator would say. And I know he's referencing potentially, or at least I understand, like, oh, someone would call me a predator in a way, right? And I found Logan Paul say that. It's like, we call them predators. You call them out. It's kind of awkward. But it's just the guy. It's just the guy trying to approach a girl, and it's just the weirdest fucking thing when you get bullied, like, you just burning liberties, because you have nothing better to do. You just burn liberties, and eventually you're gonna have to live with that. Alright? The idea that you have been a nuisance for yourself, mostly, because there's win-win situations everywhere, and you sit here and burn liberties. And like, no one's proud of you. No one likes you. Everyone wants to see your YouTube career end up in a suicide forest. We want to see a spectacle. And it's almost like, it's very nice to see bad YouTube channels. But you must understand to never be starstruck by a YouTuber ever. Because they're fake. They're just manufactured social fucking social horror, I would say. What is this, right? Social memes. People you kind of like to hate because that's what makes them popular. You have to allow hate to flow in, basically, as a river of hate, river of shit. Yeah, they might be doing jobs and work and be getting paid and all that shit, and that they are in the way of opportunity. But except for Annoying Orange. You know, Annoying Orange hates on himself, so he does the job for himself, and it's like, whoa, that is a meta game. Don't do that. You're actually a good YouTube channel. You have to wait until all the bad ones are laughed at, and we point a finger at everyone, you know? Also, Onision? No. Onision is too bad. Alright? I know he's not that bad, but he's very bad, guys. Don't go to his Discord channel. Don't take advantage of Onision, okay? Alright? There's certain things that are too bad in life. It's weird. Obviously, there's no clear cut, but again, normally it's just yeah. Let's call it social anomaly. Social anomalies, basically. Just like in Hearthstone, people play decks that win them games. It's a social anomaly because winning does not supposed to result in more happiness, right? It's about, oh, I've been able to make good decisions, and that's why you win in the end, potentially. That's pretty happy. But if you just, and operating a deck is pretty cool, but if you're just playing a net deck, if you being conformed into playing a certain thing a certain way, that's terrifying, because you're not building up skill of any kind. But even more terrifying is waking up every day and thinking that, oh, the best thing I can do is play Hearthstone, because for me, like, yes, it's a whole new world, by the way. It's a whole fucking new world. I enter a new world. I still want to care about my engine, and my engine actually bothers me a lot. Okay, it's like a little child that constantly wants attention because I just have time, and it's definitely worthwhile, but I don't know how to distribute that attention, so I just tackle the main issues in hand, and it's probably productive enough to the point where I'll slowly build up momentum and slowly build something out of this. The most important thing is, like, just deal with the issues, and eventually, when it is a game engine, it's gonna have a free flow. There's no big problems to actually deal with anymore. That's amazing. So I'm gonna get there sooner than later. Now the biggest problem is just the rendering still, I would say. Still find it to be a huge problem. I don't want to see a bunch of black spots on my... when I want to look through grass or something. Like, fuck me, dude. What's behind that grass thingy there, though? Can you show me? And it lags when it shows. It goes down to 30 FPS. I'm sure there's something I can do, but at this point I'm like, I don't know if that's true. Honestly, I honestly don't know. Because I sorted everything, but it's not about sorting. It's apparently about making sure that every piece... I'm still not sure, alright? I'm still not sure how it's gonna work. But if there's 1K threads that my computer is capable of, alright, and this is what a thread looks like, okay, little Little worker dude. Alright? Little happy kind of worker dude. Willing to do stuff. Alright? And this little shit has to get very decent distribution of work. Very decent. A cut. In a way. And you know every worker is put there as an equal opportunity as well. It's already pre-baked. Very equal to everything else. Needs a cut. It's not the most difficult thing, but something I have to program together. So I still gonna look into it. I'm still gonna look forward to the rendering method 3, which I talked about last time, but this is like the super simple way to put it. A more complicated way to put it is there's a bunch of questions, right? And we can look through again. But honestly, I just goddamn need the baseline and see where I go from here. Once I have the baseline ready, once I know how much optimization it requires and how difficult it is to render an object just as it is, and how many objects I can render in general just as they are, and then we can really work things through from that point of view. Alright. Unity has trouble just rendering a few lines, so I'm very optimistic about this. No, it's pretty funny. I don't know what to expect, you know. My specs are low. My specs are just mid-range on a budget. No, it's a budget basically. Budget specs. You can call it that way. So what am I supposed to expect from my computer? What am I supposed to squeeze from my computer? Well, I run GTA 5 okay, right? So what's the big idea then? I run certain games just fine, and I want to know how they work. That's a lot of work. That is just deep work, and you cannot just look into my work and pretend that that's something that's supposed to appeal to you. You know, eventually you see like, oh, that's good. That's a thumbs up moment. And yes, that's kind of a part of life. I'm just kind of disappointed that I'm less than a pet type of moment for people. Now, with YouTube, like, your pets die. It's your pets die tube, I would say. Your pets say goodbye to you. Your pets go to the forest. YouTube, also known as your pets go back to the forest tube. Alright, that's where they belong. They belong to, you know, time and space beyond your understanding, beyond your wildest dreams. Alright? They belong to an actual free environment, free range environment. And yes, we can build robots to hunt them down and shit. That will be cool. Alright, maybe we'll create robot wars against... Well, why don't we have robot wars already? Fucking drones killing animals, and that's it. We should have enough robots by now. But we always should also, you know, provide to the ecosystem too. Oh wait, robot wars already exist, killing pigs and cows and shit. I guess that's cool. Still, we have to inseminate them. I don't know how gross that is. I hope people have Very nice days, basically. Because that's a job, inseminating animals. Ugh. I hope that's a nice job to have. No, you know it's not nice, mostly. It's just, you don't, maybe you don't know all the nuances. So you can give benefit of the doubt every now and then. What do we have here? We actually completed our first hour. It's that easy. Just sit back. Tons of problems. I pick a basket of problems. Let's work on it, alright? It's almost now a factory. Factory work. Hey, give me your problems. Easy. We'll do it. So I have a list of problems that need, need to go through. Very simple. Well, we still have to go forward if there's something I'm uncomfortable with. No, the most uncomfortable thing is that there's a lot of food that I have to eat, so let's go do that first. Yeah, it's very compelling story, I would say. What is the first thing that would die? Because your hope for a better life shouldn't die. Like, there are happy moments, and there are sad moments, and there are emotional moments, there are low moments, and there are deadly moments, and there are terrible, fucking horrible moments that beyond your comprehension. So what is that first thing that would die, as I've said? Right? As an unlock piece. So it's a pointer to the lock, I would say. What is the first thing that would die? My throat. Alright, because immediately I'm like, I have to scream about it. I have to raise my voice. I have to be very angry about it. Just because, and it's like so fucking important. It's so important to understand this concept. Wow. Alright. Wowee. And the work stacks together, and now we can look back and collect stars if we want to. Just because. Just because I did it that way. The real game, I'm not gonna build it for you. You have to build for yourself the actual game. So that your life provides. I fucking hate being a game maker, because I know life provides a much more important way. Alright? Way to live a life. And, I can only provide you with the insight that I went a certain direction for a certain reason, and if your reasons match, even a little bit, which they will, there's so much you can learn, and so much you can do, where I'm not, and it's hard to comprehend almost. The worst thing, however, is I feel a lot of people flexing, and it still works on me. Not for profits. Yep, I do need profits, but it's not always easy to keep up with other people, honestly, and what they care about. That's the flex, really. These social anomalies, they have their ways of existing, lingering, basically. Because it's like, oh, you are a social anomaly, moment happens. But then it's just kind of awkward when it doesn't go away. So like, Oh, yeah, there is a little bit of drama going on. There's a little bit of interest. What is this person gonna do? What is he gonna say about a certain topic or whatever? And then the interest dies off. You have to find yourself somewhere else. Because that's the most important part, right? Social anomalies are supposed to lead you to a better place. Alright. So, first of all, social anomalies, while they're happening, they invite you to watch YouTube. Alright, whatever that might be. And, however, people have to handstand and look weird just to get your attention. But it's a wrong thing to do by any means. And yet, it's just something that you have to invest into. Because it's a social anomaly, that just doesn't happen often enough, so it captures your attention by default. Alright? Try not to laugh videos. Reaction videos. Whatever. But it's an important part. And we know it's a social anomaly, because, like, at some point I trusted the Fine Bros until they became the fucked up bros. Real fucked up, man. Holy shit. I would be okay them being pedophiles. I'm not okay them monetizing the word react for themselves. I'll take that word, cause that's a word I can pick up and take away a bunch of liberties. Oh wait, people have detected us taking liberties. That is really bad. I thought we had a monopoly. I can just play a monopoly card where you have to pay even if you whenever you land. yeah, they try to buy the second hotel, basically. You can't do that. It's just beyond the rules, beyond what people expect you to be able to do, you know. You had your liberties, you earn money. Stop it, okay? Stop it. Don't take money from people, alright? If you earn money, stop taking money for stupid reasons. Alright? Stop. In a way, stop making a scam out of it, basically. Stop investing your money to the point where it makes more money to you. Because that's an act of war, basically. Investing into a scam is an act of war against society. We just haven't figured out, basically, how to stop you. Because there are still stupid people, uneducated, that are willing to buy into a scam. And it's terrifying to me, very terrifying. It's a possibility, and scams have their lifespan. They don't die immediately. They can come from other countries. They can come in a form of rip-offs. That's fine. Rip-offs are not scams. They're actual scams. They're fucking harmful. Who knows? Because we need to... We're just preparing ourselves. We don't have actual evidence, do we? Except for Fine Bros. They're a social anomaly now. So sad. Hey guys, I saw a robot with a gun and it's very scary. I don't know what to think. This is one of those things I wouldn't... I would start cringing myself at. If you automate guns, that's a deadline, basically. It's like, yes, you can automate guns, but you can also scam guns. And you're basically playing with death at this point. This is the the robot apocalypse maximum level, basically, that a human being can reach is stand next to a robot that holds a gun. Alright. Maximum level reach, okay. I give up. I give up all my liberties. I don't want to see it ever again. Not in front of me. I will never consent to a robot holding a gun while standing next to me. Alright? That is just no. And usually, the only thing robot needs to do is to have a gun to be able to hold it, because robots don't even have hands. Alright? So even that's fucking crazy. I don't want to ever be next to a robot with a gun. Alright, not holding a gun, with a gun. With. Very important distinction. Alright? With a gun. Alright. My work is a testament of liberation. Absolutely. Alright. I'm gonna give a thumbs up or a point of how many statements I made because of these logs. So I already made statements, enough statements about it. So, yep, that's it. I feel a little bit totally disabled, but I think I handled it quite a bit well so far. You know, society might not like me, but that's just because it's so difficult to actually understand a person. It takes time. It just takes time. And it's something you have to do every day. Wake up. Most of your life has to be dedicated in understanding other people. And that's it. Because that's what you're going to be up to most of the time. You're going to be stressed about something. You're going to be worried about something. And if you catch yourself doing that often enough, you realize that's kind of what life is about. Life is about not saying yes to things, but lingering a little bit longer. And taking time is that thing. So sipping tea, when I sit down for that tea session, it's getting a little bit lengthy now. And it's at the same time out of control, weird. I still don't know what this is supposed to mean. I still don't know what am I supposed to do in the tea session. Because I don't want to just sit there either. But maybe it's better if I just sit and wait. Because, yes, you want to do an extra activity because it's just boring sitting in your brain. When your brain actually can't hold on anything. My brain just can't hold on a single statement for long enough. It just drops down to the ground. It's the greatest gravity of all time. My brain can't handle a single sentence for more than 10 seconds. In a way, that's like, what does that even mean to be able to handle it? Are you supposed to memorize it? Are you supposed to hold it? Are you supposed to feel it? Feel its importance? Are you supposed to follow it? What are you supposed to do? So, of course, my brain cannot handle it. But that's the challenge, is figuring out, what does this mean? Alright? I don't know what this means. I really want to know. So it's still very problematic. Let's put it this way. It's not a lock. It's a problem. Maybe even deeper than a lock. Or less than a lock. Maybe. Who knows? I'm just not immediately asking a question. So it has to be a reoccurring villain. When it reoccurs, then it's like, okay, what is going on with this shit? That's the lock. The anti-star assholes. I don't like this. Let's tackle this very easily. Oh wait, it's not easy because a reoccurring villain is being gay basically. And everyone praises being gay. Well, people praise liberation a lot. And they take liberties, as you can tell, but they also spend it very quickly. And so you have to say no to sexualities out there, alright? Not because you don't like it, not because you're afraid of sexualities. There's tons of them, they can be weird, but they end up abruptly, alright? It's like a, 1-2 minute thing. It's almost like sexuality. Let me define sexuality for you, alright? It's like watching a scary movie. You know you won't watch the whole thing. Wait. I can't even say the whole thing. You won't watch the whole thing. Let's put it this way. You would think, like, that is not correct statement. Not exactly incorrect. Why would you watch something that's actually terrifying you? It's something that's gonna create hard feelings for you. You stop. You stop that shit. You say no. I just told you not to say yes to everything. Wow. You just say no. You have to reject it. You have to press pause button and push it aside. If you really want a scary movie, you'll continue. Continue eating. It's a meal that, you just have to have in the background somewhere. So you don't have to look for like that scary movie that really scares you. Well, you just found one. So you press pause, try to fucking recover from a terrible disaster that happened in your life. Unless you happen to watch something that doesn't scare you at all, and it probably either you don't understand it or you don't understand things in general. So like like all these rant videos, they do make me a little bit more sensitive to things. You have to kind of do enough work. You just have to do work to ensure you're sensitive to things. Alright? Just for that reason. Alright? Because if you're doing work, you're not necessarily interacting with people, so you're going to put people in high esteem. You're going to put people... you're going to put events that are not ordinary in high esteem. So watching a movie shouldn't be something that is completely ordinary for you. And it shouldn't be a job. If it's your job, you're a social anomaly and you belong on YouTube by any means. I watch YouTube videos. That doesn't make me a social anomaly. I watch social anomalies. That means I'm the least social anomaly of them all, I would say. I'm the most normal person, but it's still like it's a questionable thing. Should you watch my work? Can you actually keep up? Or do I have to buy a better microphone and an editor? Because an editor potentially, I'll have to buy a person who is a social anomaly. An editor working for me. Oh, that's cool. You like getting paid. That's pretty weird. For me, that's weird. Wanting to get paid. But that's like 99% of population, right? They like getting paid. Too bad not everyone is actively working. Too bad getting paid is like not exactly for every single hour you spend most of the time. Not every hour is evaluated. Or not every point of effort. Hours might be evaluated, not points of effort. So that's kind of weird. So there's no reason to try hard sometimes. There's plenty of problems with just wanting to get paid. It's just one of those things just doesn't work. You might like money because it buys you, it liberates you, but like anything else can liberate you, even death itself. So it's like, well, if people don't like you, and they don't give you anything, just slowly fade out from this world into another world. That's it. That's all you have to do. Very simple fucking deal, right? People fucking fail that one thing, and I'm not gonna fail that one. All right. Suicide is not something we're supposed to be failing to do. All right. It's one of the most difficult things in the world by any means, because that's literally the definition of difficulty. The everything. All right. Everything is dying level of difficulty. I can barely put myself to sleep level of difficulty. It's unbelievable. All right. But we still have to be able to fight for that final liberty. All right. That ultimate liberty. That would scare the shit out of me. The same way my previous video was like, hey guys, you have a bunch of liberties because crime puts you in jail, but jail does not actually take away all your liberties. You still get to live, and that life isn't an extreme version of life. And yes, there are, terrible things in jail that you're gonna pick up. Tons of diseases, basically. Let's put it this way. There's tons of ways to screw up your life. But also, maybe it's a sped up way of life also. It's kind of weird, isn't it? If you slow your life down, maybe that's where babies come from. That's amazing. Yeah, because you don't want babies if your life is at a normal rate. Alright, it's not as bad as in prison where only men are surrounding you and you just literally can have babies. And where life is so slow, you can literally have all the babies everywhere. Just raining down babies. Alright, you just put your dick in the wrong hole, there's a baby for you. On the other end. Ridiculous. So we kind of found our society in that overpopulation side, in a overly liberated side. And it's almost like we celebrated liberty because the war is over. But that's just so fucking weird. It's almost like the moment Corona is over, we're gonna fuck each other every day now. Is that one thing we're gonna be doing. But again, the fuckery of life, that's what it is for me. This is almost star-worthy. Because that's how deep it goes. It's hard to handle. And then you will question, like, what does that mean? Normally, two things can happen, right? You're very excited or you're very scared. But in both situations, it ends. Alright? But being normal doesn't end as quickly, I would say. So sexualities, there can be all kinds of sexualities, but there can only be certain ways you can use your body, you can be yourself, use your personality and body, basically. There's only certain ways you can do it. And that's not going to redefine who you are. The way you do things as well. The way you are normal. But it is, might be quite interesting. How do you? Alright, that's pretty cool. But you don't have to identify yourself as anything, right? You have to be protected. You don't have to call yourself a minority or a believer in something. Progressive. I don't know. I hate politics. I just would love to take politics and just put it somewhere else. But I still have a haunting vision of like, I didn't set trans rights, I said something else. I tried to set something smart and I got banned eventually. And then got unbanned and then got banned again. Because I was banned previously. Let's see. I want to stay banned, basically. Keep me banned, boys. Discord. Keep me banned, because I am banned, and yes, I am. It's such a fucking pain in the ass, but this is the last time I'm gonna check. The reason is, like, I'm so bored right now. I can do literally anything. Give me anything. Jesus Christ. I can't be more bored than this. You won't find me more bored. Even though I'm supposed to go to sleep and everything. I'm bored because I know fucking hell I've sit there bored the entire day. Alright? And I need more problems to deal with. This is fucking garbage now. This is fucking too easy. It's only gonna last me, this is my real food. I eat problems, my real food. Not something that kills me, not something that fucking makes me feel terrible. I go outside, look, there's snow outside. You know what snow does? Snow is the most deadliest fucking cocaine there is, alright? This cocaine, you don't have to say no to it. You have to say yes, alright? You have to say yes to cocaine, because it's everywhere. It literally goes straight into your nostrils, and it reminds you how cold the weather is, and how cold your feet are. And fuck you. If you can forget for a moment, and just go to the shop, and bring back the food that you need, and that's the end of that story. Congratulations, but you have to stay in snow for like an hour. Fuck that shit. Alright, that's a problem I can't solve. You just have to stay at home. That's that one lockdown moment where the fucking nature itself tells you what the fuck to do. Rightfully so. But like, for fuck's sake. Whatever. There is no common sense, there's just common insanity, right? If people are all commonly insane, we're gonna have a certain thing happen. And we have to live through that thing. So, alright. Once we fix that insanity, life goes on afterwards. Alright. My real food is problem, so I eat food. If I run out of this, I die, okay? If I stop making rant videos, that means I'm dead. Something's wrong with me. Couldn't sit down and be weird for 3 hours. Which is what some people would define me as. That's the shit. And I don't want to be spoon-fed problems, because that's not how it works. But at the same time, it's almost like, yeah, I guess that's what life is right now. That's what I adapted to be able to do. It's just look at some... just make them come, okay? Just let them come. Yeah, I like problems now. It's my way of life. There's no escape from that after all. And it sounds not fun, honestly. So how do we make it more fun? And again, just one last reminder for myself. I don't have to work on my goddamn fucking engine. I'm proud of it. I move forward with it. I learn as I go. And it's almost like, it's an actually legit diploma, right? As much as I've learned, I put it into practice. It worked to a certain extent, alright? That's the result of that, alright? Realizing that I can't actually compete with people, that I cannot release anything. Besides, I did my work. I know certain things for certain, but I cannot push extra work by any means. Alright? Work happens. And I can dedicate certain amount of hours too. Alright? And when I feel really, really bored, that's what I will do. Alright? Yes, sounds very not appealing. Because you just said your priority is very low on the engine. Exactly. I don't know. It's the biggest problem. Like, where do I prioritize my engine? So first of all, literally anything that gives me fun, anything, is on a list of priority. Let's put it this way, alright? So let's put everything into a basket. Do we have a basket? I do have a basket. That would be interesting. I literally don't have to leave Discord then. Anything. Anything is higher than my engine. Anything. If that's a thing, I can consume it and it's fine. That's a thing. Congratulations. You are a thing. Alright? It gives me vibes. It gives me energy. It's a real thing. Alright? It's a real thing that gives life. It's not just stupid work context. Okay? You know? Tic-tac-toe is also a game. And I don't have to invent that one, do I? Chess is a game. You don't have to invent it. It's there and shoved in people's faces, and people fucking love chess for some reason. Unbelievable. I can't understand. How can you do the same fucking game forever, but some people do it? So, in a way, you have to take a deep breath and understand there's absolutely nothing you can do to actually win the market. Nothing. Even if you're the best thing out there in the universe, you get nothing. Alright? You get your soul ripped out. So this is why my priority to actually make my engine is right below anything. Alright, there's a lot of things in anything. But if I find nothing instead, I have to go to my engine. Anything first and then my engine. Alright. And chess. Chess is a good reminder, because chess or Rubik's Cube, you know, you kind of have those physical pieces making up a game. That's kind of interesting. Was it difficult to make? Is it really? It's difficult to make and teach someone chess. Alright? Just happens out of nowhere. But at the same time, almost it makes you question, right? Chess is a huge problem of the past, of like, hey, but we need like better games. But then the games that actually win over the society, I think they're social anomalies too. Actually, whatever wins over society, they're social anomalies, because they're boring. Eventually, they're boring and stupid. Alright? Anything? Yeah, I would say this. There's no other way to say it, because the anything organizes itself very nicely. Whatever I feel like doing, whatever I'm prepared to do, that's the thing I'm doing. engine comes last on the line. If I say I'm bored to myself, well, I guess I have to torture myself with the engine. But if I can torture myself with the rant video, I'll rather do that. And that's how it works. It's just how, there's no escape from that. Alright? Because I would, at any point, I would love to enslave a person, teach them what I know, and teach them how I teach myself. Alright? That's the best way to fucking do it. Alright? The second cop-out moment. Again, all of these things made me uncomfortable at some point in my life. And I fucking hate it. I want more speed. I want to fucking break through against bullshit. All of these people are bullies. Everything that I had to nail down, a bunch of bullies I have to punch in the face. Every single thing is a punch. Alright? So first of all, take that, you bullies. And second of all, yes, I would love to enslave someone else to do my work for me. I would love it. It's perfect. It's perfect solution to what my engine is truly about. Is I should put it out in the open and just let people try and steal it. It's the greatest thing of all time. But at the same time, it's like, it's gonna happen anyways. My work is not going anywhere. My work is, you know, the final test against boredom. Otherwise, the boredom will consume me if I don't have a way to stand on my own. Because, like, eventually game's gonna be boring. Eventually, money making is boring. Or whatever I do in life gets boring. And that's my only escape. Alright? And it's almost like scary as well. But not too scary, because you can still do it on a piece of paper. It's about exploring matrices in life. Mainly. And exploring how things should work. But if I don't put it into my engine fast enough and someone fucking captures me and crashes my computer basically, then I'll be in trouble. Because I cannot put down and put it in practice anymore. I have to wait in agony basically. I fall through those 2 floors, so I learn how to survive. My engine kind of does that for me now. Alright? And then anything goes first. And you would think, like, that's unbelievable. Very believable. This is a part of my engine. I had to fucking open this thing up, actually. I just misclicked. I probably barely control my fucking finger now. So, yeah. This must be it, right? I cleared it, finally. Because I had some trash laying around. I don't want trash. Trash is now its own thing. It has 74 points of influence already. Trash is such trash. But if you leave the timer unclicked for long enough, it has to go somewhere. Alright, it has to be unclicked and go somewhere. And sometimes it can go into trash. I never thought I was gonna fucking create, you know, a trash bin. You know, as a human being, you never think like you just will create things out of boredom. Alright? As a creator, you end up doing unexpected things, or mirroring reality in some way, right? It's a little bit of a mirror, but it's also its own thing, right? a trash bin. You accumulate something, you have to throw it somewhere, you have to use it, you have to apply it somewhere. If it's not applicable, it goes to trash. Weird, but now it is a thing. I don't like it necessarily. Nobody likes trash. But I can just rename trash into something else, like compost or dirt. I don't know. Dirt is gonna attack us. And I'm gonna climb the ladder. Ridiculous. Or some of the trash is just gonna evaporate if it's big enough. Just becomes a cloud of trash and floats away. You don't belong here, clearly. Alright. Alright, so I do need to take the food in there. It's cold again. I just fucking warmed up my food and I'm like, oh, it's cold again. Oh, oops. So yeah, that shit's for sure, man. Oh, man. Fighting boredom is like the nuts. The giga nuts, basically. Again, anytime you find something interesting, go for it. But if you can't find anything interesting, you have to work your ass off. Because you'll find something interesting there when you hands-off it on experience. Hands-on experience, there's no way. There's no way you're gonna fail. Alright? But if you keep failing, your life might be over. You know, and it's like, you're too young to die. Have to remind yourself of that. So, likely reminder. You know, you may be too young to die, so just remember that it matters. That boredom matters the most. And then your work can shine through all that. I have defeated boredom for one more second thing, because now patience is the most valuable thing, I would say, I ever found. Obviously, if life hates you and puts you on fucking rent pay mode, and work pay mode, game over, baby. It's game over. There's no way out of that shit. It's the worst life ever. Needing to wake up for something and go somewhere and do something. Fuck that shit, okay? The only thing I need to do is whatever happens. That's what I need to do in life. When it was happening, whatever I'm doing, that's what I need to do. Shut the fuck up. Alright? If it doesn't help me with my boredom, it is not a part of my life. Alright? Go find a rat that enjoys spinning the wheel. You know, you need the wheel to be spun. Find a rat for it. I'm not a rat. Fucking crazy. I'm a rant. That's what I am. I'm a rant. Number of rants I made so far confirmed to be 117. This is 118. Nice. Very nice. Oh, I just talked about it too. I mean, I'm so good at knowing what my feelings are. I just followed up my feelings very nicely. Antisocial. Also taking ownership, which is like money and respect. You just take it. You know, from people. Oh yes, I'll take that, I'll take that, I'll take that. You keep taking from people's hands and everyone is just praising YouTubers, but you have to say no. You know, you have to learn how to say no. Obviously, it's very hard to say no to social anomalies, but like, you have to say no. to stop praising them that much. Yes, they might stop making videos. Big fucking deal, dude. That's the whole business model, really. Let's become a social anomaly and make them feel that if they don't give me enough likes and subscriptions and all that shit, that I'm not gonna make videos anymore. That's how it works. Holy shit, no. What happens in a normal circumstance, whether you're social anomaly or not, the more money you earn, the less videos you're gonna make. Easy. Okay, so don't praise those fucking people. Don't simp on them. They will escape you as easy as a fucking snap. Alright? $1 million in my bank account. Snap concede, basically. The moment they figure out how to spend that money, they snap concede out of existence. But that's what makes them social anomalies as well. They don't know how to spend their money. Alright? For me, freedom is everything. Freedom means I don't have to do literally jack shit. I don't have to be a programmer. I don't have to define myself as a worker anymore. I have tickets to everything. It's like, fuck yeah, dude. And everyone will give me attention and respect, which is attention I can monetize that, just because I have money. So money makes money. It's like the stupidest thing ever, alright? It's the stupidest fucking shit ever, and I want to offend everyone on that shit. But holy fuck. I don't have a single cent to be proud of, so screw me, I guess. You know? Life is just, now I'm waking up, well, it's pretty interesting, I guess. Gonna die from hunger instead of trying to die with my mind, you know? Where's that fucking suicide button? I'll find it. I fucking hate everyone right now. I have enough hatred to explode my head. It has to be it. That's the things that I say to myself. It's almost a fucking comedy show, but that's what happens when I'm alone, okay? Loneliness, pretty scary thing. It's not depression, okay? It's big-ass demon right there. Big-ass demon that's trying to get inside you, basically, and say all these mean things. Very, very scary, okay? It's that big demon. Take the blame, invisible forces. I don't want it. I don't want to take the blame. Sometimes best way to unite is building a wall from two oppositions. It's like, fucking chill, right? The best way to unite people is to cultivate the cults. So cults go into their own little sections. Oh, you really want to go into your own section? Do you really love cults? Because I think what cults really fucking hate. Alright. Cults hate themselves and love new people. Alright, that's the whole point. This is the whole point of the cult. The whole point was to actually recruit you, nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Alright? Yes, and there might be a person that, you know, it's actually possible to make a cult out of me, right? A bunch of people, but the cultist himself has to work in the shadows, in a way. And kind of be the additional part of something great, right? So in a way, cult is here in the middle. No. Cult does the recruitment process and ends the process as well. And in the middle, there's an actual good thing. Alright? But the cult is gonna make it more expensive the entry points are gonna be scammy and scummy, okay? So cults themselves are not terrible. They just don't quite exist, as you would think. The entry and exit points of like, hey, give me whatever you got, and recruit more people, you know, and all that shit. They create their own entry and exit points of a good thing. Cults are definitely not bad. Alright. Just ridiculously demanding. And they not necessarily, they don't give anything original. They just kind of redirections of something. Alright? And it's like, what is a fucking cult anyways? How do you imagine one? No, it's just... Okay. A cult. A certain type of belief system, right? But they still have to direct you to content creators or something that you can chew on and pretend that it's important. Alright? Or just porn. Porn's still pretty good. I don't know, man. And there's good things out there. And the cult's gonna... in order to take advantage of something, they take advantage of everything, so, you know, that's what they do. But they're just add-ons on something that's actually good. It actually has its own identity. Alright? So the most important thing, cults don't even have an identity of their own. But whatever they worship. Alright? That's their actual identity. That's what takes the fucking cake. Alright? Cult of Onision? Is there a cult? Nope. No, there isn't. I don't think anyone cults... Because again, a cult is something that, hey guys, enter, pay a little bit extra because you used my reference link or whatever. Now you can see what I'm referring to. All right. So anyone being sponsored gets recruited into a cult. All right. So just sponsorships sound very much like cult behavior, and it probably is. Alright? Because we're talking about the most important resource that you don't want to screw up. Because you don't want to screw up the money and respect that you get from life, because that's the fucking end points. Alright? The finishing touch of whether you're gonna be happy or not today. You know, you did your day and you check your pockets and they're empty, and it's like, oh, I guess my day is screwed up. The only thing you have to do is just keep your opportunities straight, right? And that's it. And hope that people actually give opportunities, and you always get something valuable, right? So you check your money. Check your ability to buy food of whatever is going to make you not bored for that moment. I still don't know what food is, by the way. It's actually a questionable thing, what food is. Are you really going to die from going hungry, or are you just going to die from going bored? What's going to happen if I go hungry? Do I lose all the muscle mass? Do I turn into Eugenia Cooney? Well, you have to thank Eugenia Cooney for standing up for a social anomaly as she is. Obviously, you're going to be run over, because somehow putting things into your mouth is important. I don't know, man. It's just how our bodies work. We kind of figured that one out. But you have to be able to question everything. That's the fun part of life. How far did we go? Ripped reality. Well, we certainly ripped reality with overpopulation and how different we are from each other. That's the rip in reality, honestly. I look into YouTube, and the most important thing is how unwatchable any of these videos are. Just like my videos. I actually didn't see that. Because if the thumbnails are so fucking colorful and stupid, they just blend in as like, they have their own camouflage. I don't know what I'm looking at. I have to individually pick up what the fuck's going on. If I just see colors, if I just see dirt to like red color or color yellow, if video thumbnails just stand out, that would be a lot easier. Clearly, right? But who cares? I have to actually look into this piece of into this name and see, do I respect this person? That's what I look at. I don't look into a thumbnail. I don't look into a title. I look into a person. Do I respect this person? That's what I look at. It's ridiculous. And that's not highlighted. That's what I'm ashamed of. You know? I'm not ashamed of not making thumbnails or applying. Not using thumbnails. Alright? I'm ashamed of needing them. Alright? Because the most important part for me is the name of the game. He released the video, let's watch it. Make a name for yourself. That's what makes me watching. That's the game over screen, okay, YouTube? Go figure this one out somehow. One way or the other, you have to figure this one out. No, this verified does not help, alright? Oh, you're verified. No. Please. Slap their face. Alright? So it fades away slowly or something. Slap it. Fucking highlight this name a little bit fucking bigger. I don't know. Just like I do it. I create it out of few symbols. I'm the G-Man, okay? You know who I am. The G-Man. The nine-tailed fox, basically. Mr. Nine. You can't miss it, dude. How are you gonna miss this fucking nine staring in your face? I made another video. Alright? Look at me, big boy. This video is definitely good. Congratulations for making it this far into YouTube. And finding my video not boring, because it's 3 hours, alright? If you found these 3 hours not boring, congratulations, dude. I applaud you for your accomplishment in life. That's what it takes, you know? I don't want to see people giving views to fucking, let's watch some card games and shit. Fuck that shit, man. Fucking card games. Ridiculous. But that's what people are excited about right now. Definitely they will slowly back away, you know. It takes time, man. It will take me mountains of patience just to wait for that to happen eventually. But at the same time, it will happen faster and faster based on my gravity that I put together as well. The gravity of my work, alright? It's the last thing I want to do, alright? It's that thing that I want to escape from, like everyone else. They have to try and escape their home problems, you know, their main problems. The people with tons and tons of expectations for them. Let's escape that. But most importantly is the escape of being sucked into the work that you have to do. You have to escape from that and kind of evolve. Eventually, you will not be able to stop yourself from doing it. You know, it runs in my head every now and then of what can I do to improve my work quality, and I will do it. You know, when there's something I just can't avoid, I'm like, wow, this will give me so much power in a fucking flash. I just have to press this, and that. That's it, amazing. Wow. And those are rare moments in life. They're worth so much more than just sitting and putting 1 week of work into whatever I'm doing. It's so hard to actually quantify all of this shit, either. Unless someone like Dr. Phil sits down and says, "You have excuses. I have a pie in my hand, and this pie should belong to your face." There's no excuse. There's nothing you can say to that, because I'll say you have excuses. You don't want pie in your face? Are you kidding me, Dr. Phil? I feel offended. I feel like you have many excuses right now. Why don't you? Why don't you take the pie to you? Okay, I'll take it. Finally. And then this pie says you lose all credibility, basically. And you shove that fucking pie in his face. Excuses. They work sometimes. Very nice. I don't even understand it. Sometimes they work, though. So I'll definitely press in this video. You can feel my mouse. Can't wait. It sounds like the most boring thing ever, but it's the person that delivers the fucking goods, that makes thumbnails and titles completely irrelevant. They're completely obsolete now. And I'm a YouTube CEO because I can see through the fucking bullshit after bullshit that I had to live through. But I'm a sober person, so whatever I sit down to do is, I'll see through it, man. There's no way out of here. What did I get? Yay! Tons of points. That's a lot. So I think that's the second hour completed. I'm happy. And if I can make hit pieces as well, let's fucking go for it. I just want to put myself on a treadmill of just... I'm not working treadmill is the weirdest thing ever. But that's what people do in life. You have to understand. People don't do work. They don't deserve to suffocate themselves. Okay, we just deserve... How do we make tic-tac-toe more interesting? That's the one question. That one question you have to answer. Just make tic-tac-toe more interesting. Like, earn experience points, add more layers to it, because you can do that. Alright, you can do this while you do this as well. Tiny balls, what is that? Big X's versus tiny balls. No, how about this? I don't know. Is this an X? So it's multi-dimensional, dude. I'm gonna complete my thingy here. So you put this thingy here. And I now put thingy over here. And you put this thingy. So I have to put this thingy here. So it blocks. Alright. So you put this thingy here. Have to block it here too. Oh no, you have to block me. But you can't. Wait, I can't do that? I'm not supposed to be able to do that. Oh, you can actually block me. Oh, that's fine. But I am putting things here and I win. Yikes. Disgusting, dude. And don't try to make this not fun, Math. Get the fuck out of here, Math. Math would try and pick this up and be like, huh, I'll figure out the exact reason why. Shut the fuck up, Math. Nobody asked you, okay? Let's play one more game of Tic Tac. This is how life works, dude. Alright. Fuck you, Math, for making certain things not fun. Alright. Eventually, dying from a bullet is gonna be fun. Who cares, right? I'm sure. I'm sure. Too bad I can't prepare myself accordingly, you know? I just have to be anti-gun, and that's it. Anti-violence. Maybe it will work. Maybe I'll wave my flag a little bit, and it will work whenever it might actually happen. So I still have to pinpoint that position. It's potentially completely fine. So I won one game of tic-tac-toe. Let's play another, just to prove my point that I know how to have fun, and it's not gonna be awkward whatsoever unless I keep talking like that. Alright. The double tic-tac-toe, fucking weirdo. I can do that. I can take double center. Ridiculous. Oh wow, so that's fucking fair too, isn't it? So you take centers both times. Fuck yeah, it's the double tic-tac-toe. So whichever you want, you progress through. So definitely want to fucking take this corner piece right now. But whatever progresses, you can block. I will Oh. Oh, you have to block and create a threat. Then it blocks. Then it plays itself a little bit. Now it played itself out, in a way. Right? Now nothing matters. Unless it does. So we placed 4 pieces. I can place an X in the corner, like this. Now it matters. Now I can block, I can force a move. But does that matter? Probably not. Fucking lame. Because everything can be blocked. Tic-tac-toe is like the most boring game ever when you know the rules. Everything gets blocked. Alright. Everything ends up with garbage. Fuck tic-tac-toe. Stupidest game ever. Alright. You got a life if you play that shit. Even the double tic-tac. It's just a little bit more confusing version of the most boring game ever. So if you can make it actually fun, congratulations. It's like, yeah, it's easy, but it's like, it's the dumbest thing. If you held it in your hands, like, you should feel stupid about it. So yeah, we're finding things out of what fun is. Alright, I screw myself over very much, especially on the day 11, and then the date after that was a little bit sucky. At least I made a rant video January 11, so January 12 sucked a little bit more, I guess. Who knows? Someone sucked. Extremely ripped reality. So yeah, we talked about differences. We talked about is Is that it? Because I fucking hate differences, like, how do we, if we forget to trade, if we forget how to have conversations, eventually we just turn into animals again. It's game over. Start all over again. Obviously you're gonna die not quite an animal, but it transition to the forest, basically. That's the forest game. Not something we talked about necessarily, so I'll thumbs myself down. Bigger Nazis. Still have to go back to political left and look at them, and it's like, oh, if you're just trying to find Nazis, and now you're becoming violent, and oh, oops, you're now yourself a Nazi. Ugh. So in a way, like, I don't know what Nazi means. It's like a targeted predator behavior. Is that what? Are we going back at predator bullshit? Because that's also thumbs down. Because there's nothing to talk about here. It's just another hypocrisy on the nose. You being a fucking predator by attacking certain people, right? So now being a Nazi is just like being a Jew at this point. You just don't see it that way. But maybe in the future we're going to see it that way. So maybe Germans didn't see, Jews, they just saw Nazis. The lower generation Nazis, and that's what they saw, and that was the political movement that sucked ass, alright, because it turned into violence eventually. Fuck yeah, dude. What was I wanting to think about? Kind of giving up now. I still have it though. Amazing. Definitely have a statement for this one. So again, I was, by my schoolmate, by my classmate, I was called a predator indirectly, as close as he could fucking handle calling me out. But I am not a predator. I just really liked a girl, and I was very committed too. That's very nice of me, okay? And I didn't took or got anything out of it. And I should get pity points, not exactly predator points for that. But the weirdest thing of all is like, is that person's need to defend people who have the ban button, basically. You can ban, you can run away, and it's like, you keep defending them as if like, you're gonna help them run away, keep helping them running away. This is not how life works. So, while I'm maybe a predator, there's a person who's helping all these people to run away and not feel guilty for not participating, basically, in society, alright? So how do we call those people out? Maybe 0.1% predator. In the things that influence me in the way that I behave, maybe. Right now to Ariana Grande the most. And then I'm on the second place, so I predate myself a little bit. I poke my buttons. Hey dude, go to work. That alone is fucking scary. But there are people who let guilt escape. guilty ones escape, right? Hey, go here, it's okay. Have more liberty. Steal more liberty from this guy. He likes his liberty to be stolen. Yeah, cool. The poker face, am I right? Let's poke this person, see if they give off any liberties. Oh, I hate this guy. Because he does not give off liberties. That's not good. So potentially, I didn't receive any more comments beyond that. It was game over there. Because I do respond. I do care. It's not something that I just silently let you weave your own narrative in there. I probably would be a little bit silent. Just as a successful creeper, Oh, it's the oh moment. Oh, you want to call me that? It's gonna be the best drama ever, And too bad I'm gonna be able to actually exit the drama because of what you have been doing this whole time. Let people exit, We have to predate on people who are willing to do bad things. Alright? Press the bad button. Or your bad button. I don't like you button. And then try and run away and escape as if nothing happened, basically. I press the bad button and there's no bad consequences to me either. If you want to press the bad button, I have to take 50% of the blame. Just like a normal trade is. So it's like, if you dislike the video, that means you have failed your job, I failed my job. Alright? But if you try and escape, I'll give you 100% of the blame. Alright? And if someone is helping you escape, I'll give them the 100% of the blame instead. So congratulations, If you want to protect someone who is bullying me already, a girl, you want to protect a girl who's bullying men, that's fucked up. That is a sexual wall, I would say. You're acting as a sexual wall. You know what happens? I smash the wall. I destroy it. It doesn't deserve to be there. Alright? Sexual escape wall. It's like, I'll protect you, princess. No. Women are bullies. Women are bigger bullies than fucking men are. But some men are just like, oh, I found something, so I'll act as a wall, and, I'll let her bully me, because I can survive it. I can take it. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. The things that men allow themselves to do. Not sure why. It's its own fucking problem. We solved most of the shit, so might as well, right? Double check. Totally disabled. Yeah, very likely. By those people who really think they have everything figured out. Like, fuck yeah. I hope you do. But every single bad decision, every single misdirection that you put on yourself, it's gonna make you suffer incrementally more and more. Unless you find the escape button, not the bad button, the actual escape button. Alright, from someone who's not willing to defend you, willing to grow you into a self-defense position. Alright? You can't find defenders for you. become one. It's quite scary because you have to understand that your parents, the way that they brought you to life, they can kill you at the same time whenever they feel like it. So you never had any defenders. You just had people that you relied on. The same way, now you're coming into real life, potentially you can survive, but you still have people who chose to support you in some way, right? You're just building your support system, alright? But defenders are not supporting you, alright? And you're not supposed to use them as a fucking shield either. Which just pretty much criminalizes me before I do anything weird. Which is, that's the most fucking stupid thing, is don't tempt the bully to charge at you. It's like, what the fuck is the point? You can't tame the bully. It's just a very, very tough position to be in. Don't poke bullies, basically. You're fighting with fire. It's just absolutely insane. You cannot be prepared to directly disarm the bully. They do their own things. They just do their fucking things. It's their thing. And you're just trying to disarm a bully. It's ridiculous. So again, yeah, using shields, using fucking men as leverage to feel safe is where women make their misdirection in life, and that's it. They lose. So I will never respect that. I got myself plenty of times bump into a fucking shield that a man is not supposed to be, and in a way that I've seen a TikTok, so that means it's true now, of someone saying, don't put a woman first. It's fucking ridiculous putting a woman first. You don't know what a woman is. You just take advantage of women. And as sexism as that sounds, it's not you. That other person is not you. And if you had a nice interaction, whether it was one way or both ways, you know, whatever the trade looked like, whatever happened, I hope it went good for you if you're the one who's gonna talk to me, you know? I don't know. I only know my transactions that come my way. That's all I know. And we have to remind ourselves what we actually know. Because all these ism collectors, basically, they're the cult members. They make things very expensive. Alright? They make me feel like I have to talk about them. They have created such a great cult, but it's still just bullshit. Just ism collectors, man. Leftisms. I'll take all the left-isms. You left some isms in there. I think you said something about women. I will have to detect whether it's good or bad or not. Yikes. That's another defender position, basically. Defend women again. Huh. Forever. They really need defense. It doesn't help whatsoever, guys. That racism and sexism thing doesn't help at all. Are not here to defend you, but feel good about themselves. The same goes for, like, you know, you never know when the shield is actually gonna break and realize that it doesn't like you anymore, because it has been trying to shield you. And when a shield tries to shield you, it takes all the blame, basically, you know. And in social situations, this is what I would call just pure randomness at this point. Random hatred. I can just invest random hatred into all these people, basically. All these people misdirecting me in wrong ways. Feeling uncomfortable. Feeling fucking emotionally fucking disturbed. Wow, man. I'm glad they didn't just fucking straight up attack me, you know. But yeah, it's so fucking deep. Deep stupidity. It's like, why? Why you attack? It's unbelievable. There's a girl and there's like 3 men defending one girl. This happened in my life, you know? It's amazing. There was a girl and 3 men defended her. Plus her parents. Just on top, cherry on top. It's like one girl. Just one fucking girl. Everyone's defending them. Right now, the most precious resources ever. I hope they will not screw themselves up, okay? After all this fucking defense that they have received. I hope it was a very noble gift, noble sacrifice. Alright? I still haven't heard why. Why is it happening again? What's going on? Still haven't figured that one out. So I guess I put it in my problems list for later. But right now it just looks ridiculous. Alright? Yeah, well, slow down even further. I mean, I look like a snail right now that has tons of demons, so my potential is pretty big. I guess I have to slow that down. Oh wait, I will never do that. I'll just build a shield that prevents you from looking into my demons, okay? Just build a bigger fucking shield. Just like you do it, you know? At some point, karma comes back around and I will take the blame. On blaming you. On giving you the return investment, basically. Or return debt. Because the debt always accumulates, right? You know that much. If you have a certain amount of debt, it's supposed to start accumulating significantly in a way. To the point where you made so many misdirections, you don't know what life is anymore. Fuck yeah. You don't own life anymore. Alright. It is what it is. I'll figure out the rest 30 minutes. I'm still tired after all. Still stuff to figure out. Apparently I had something to say. That's cool. There's still insecurities within me. I love that. But, it does raise my potential. It does allow me to shrink down as a person. So in a way, I'm almost like this slider effect where the extreme cases are getting pushed forward and forward. I usually stay small, but then jump into high gear whenever really, really needed. So that's a true duty police bullshit, as you can find yourself doing. Alright? There's so many things out in life, and I just need to open up those opportunities. So potentially it is worthwhile to invest into other people. Some money, if I earned it, if I find myself earning that, I would do it. But finding people who actually give a fuck and don't think it's a complete scam, that everything is a fucking scam unless Mr. Beast with his face throws money at you. Alright, so you know, like, oh, Mr. Beast, that one guy is not a scam. If he gives you $10,000, that's not a scam in your hands. But he has to hand deliver it to you. So this is the world we live in. Just saying giveaway probably doesn't mean much to people anymore. At least not to me. But I don't know how people respond right now. I just feel fucking fucking retarded if they do actually respond. Go, what the fuck? Because they're everywhere now, and they're all scams mostly. Whatever people respond to, turn into just cult activism. Let's take advantage of that. It's cultivation, taking advantage of something. Cultivation. Okay. You think we just grow food? We just take advantage of food? No, we take advantage of trends. Whatever people care about. Take advantage of that. It is what it is. That's all I care about, though. My potential speed run, basically. And yes, we spend plenty of quality time together with that girl. That's so much it takes, you know. When you spend a little bit of quality time, it takes 3 men in between to kind of put a dent into that relationship. A significant dent. Maybe even 4 men. Because honestly, I hired some help, and it didn't work very well. But it's probably was an overdue moment. Who knows? I hired a non-believer. Maybe that was just something I spent time on, and I should be glad, not mad. But it's so painful. Because it's so hard to define, like. And all of them just fade out, obviously, out of her life. And I was never defending her, by the way. I was like, I just wanted to see, is her relationships really that strong, really working out right now? What's going on? I'm curious. I'm definitely curious of how relationships work. I might need this fucking skill. So I can do that. And there's no need to fucking defend her about it. You know, from my curiosity never changes. It's always just curiosity. And people want to frame it in different ways and take blame for that. Congratulations. For some reason, I never felt in my heart that, or I never let myself believe that other people are evil or something. It's fucking crazy. That shit is like the edgiest shit ever. The most edgy thing to think is that people are evil. Because all of a sudden, now you will think that when it's convenient for you. When it's convenient. I'll make a shield because you're evil. You know, I'll make a shield out of myself and she will feel protected and safe and bullshit. Oh man. It pains me, dude. But obviously, in a way, it's almost like if you can convince someone of like, I'm evil, maybe it will work for a moment, and maybe I am doing something wrong. It's that maybe moment. Because you can act as shield like for a moment. Yeah, sure. That can work. But it still is pretty stupid too. Regardless. You know. You're not in charge anywhere. The person has to figure out how to be a shield for themselves. And then they will prove me evil. For sure, 100%. And in a way, you know, control your consent, control your urges, basically. Control your ability to accept things, to say yes to things. Alright? If you help let people confirm their consent on things and defend that. Alright? Once the command is out of like attack this person, then you can somewhat defend a person who says attack, you know. Your little pet, your little shield thingy, and you have to do. So it's almost like I lived the worst parts of what it would be like to date Ariana Grande. Okay, she has a bunch of pets. She can see attack at any moment, and all these pets think they're defending her. It's like the most ridiculous thing ever. Fucking got a teaser in that one. But it's like, I just have to let go of these people. I don't know how to fucking treat these people. It's like, well, you have dead bodies surrounding you. They're circulating around you. Fucking necromancer, sniper bullshit going on. There's no way to enter and no way to leave. A bunch of lies are needed to make belief out of a relationship. Alright? That doesn't actually exist in reality because you don't have any confidence, no self-esteem built on that. That's how I felt. Alright? The only time we really met is like in her room, where she's kind of implying that I'm not supposed to exist in her life this close. And it's like, why not? Jesus fucking Christ. Why not? Maybe you'll finally open up all the opportunities. But the most important part is understanding how she handles consent, and that if she doesn't do it properly, then she will ruin everything anyways. Right? So just let her fucking ruin things. It's the most important part. And if she doesn't show consent or show the ability to consent, then it just breaks everything, right? You don't know if she's failing or succeeding in it. So, that's kind of lame. Maybe I failed in that moment when I was asked to leave. But it was cool. I'll take that. Because in reality, if you want to protect someone, if you really want to be a shield, it's a card you play. Alright? You want me to leave? You'll have to leave too. We'll have to leave together. And that's just one thing we'll have to fucking do. We'll have to leave together. Because I love shields, man. I'm buying this shield. You're saying leave, that means you're attacking with the shield. That's fucking weird. I'll take your shield if you're doing that. You know. Next time, we will leave together. Because there was, again, a moment where, like, you're protecting a girl, you're telling me to leave, and I'm like, well, I don't want to leave. I'll just fucking, I'll let her say it, and then probably I want to leave, because, like, now it's awkward. Now she's gonna fucking do whatever it takes to annoy me, right? As if we're not related in any way. As if we're not attracted in any way. So if I'm the dumbest person ever, and so on, is gonna happen, okay? The separation is gonna happen, but it's like the most entertaining thing as well. And it's not a predator thing, none of that shit. This is ridiculous. This is the most evil thing I have found. Where, like, this is pure action now. Telling me to stop when nothing is happening. Nothing has been done. Wow. Congratulations. Now I do want to do things. Now I want to put a knife next to their face and just remind them, nothing happening. Nothing happening, guys. Yes, it will happen if you become evil all of a sudden and you show demons against a knife. It's just a knife next to your face. Alright? Nothing, and it's gonna slowly back away unless you fucking piss me off. Then it's gonna return. Alright? In its appropriate position back into your face. Alright? And it's just gonna travel back and forth based on the emotional fucking extent and impatience that you have. I would love to play that game. Yeah, let's call it a knife game. It's a... Yeah. The non-violent knife game. Alright. Why is there a non-violent knife? Yeah, it's potentially violent in a very fringe scenario where you're a fucking asshole. Alright? And yes, I hold more power than you do in this particular moment in time. That's amazing, right? But, yeah, reasons speak for themselves, asshole. It's just so painful. We'll leave together. Me and the shield leaves together, boys. That's what you have to do, basically. If someone's defending a woman that you give a fuck about, even a little bit, just let them come at you. Obviously, no fighting, because if they fight, just fucking spit at this bullshit. Spit at this fucking woman. Call her a bitch out. Just call her out as much as possible. It's like, fuck this. You have a violent person in your life. Good luck with your fucking life, dude. Good luck. That is the edgelordiness of all time. It's just have a violent person in your life. Now, that's the question you still have to ask, obviously. And why people are okay being edgy to some degree is to ask a question, to poke. Is he evil? Are you evil in this way? And then it's like, your card is down, and if evil shows up, basically, or doesn't, determines whether I am a good person or not. So if I was patient, probably a pretty good person, alright? Pretty good person, but, you know, again, my patience can't run its course forever, and I can be not evil forever. Especially when most of life was fucking walled off by all these shield moments. Fuck my life, dude. Do you really need that? Do you really need all of this? In general. That's the fucking disgusting deal. Yeah. There's so much manipulation, so much disgusting bullshit. When I deal with tier 1 people, and I had to let it go, but like, oh, they were all losers. Unbelievable. Why they were all losers is the greatest question of all time. Why don't I feel like a loser? Well, they would love me to make me feel like a loser, but I don't want to feel like a loser right now. Not after I lived through this bullshit. So, no thank you. I think that's the game over screen, though. 10 more minutes. I'll think of something eventually, so I should be out of here. And go to sleep. Oh boy. Dream of a bunch of losers. That's the most unbelievable thing, is that I let myself put them in a tier 1, and I put myself in tier 2. But look at me, right? I put people who were young in tier 1. They still have a chance, you know? And maybe they were fucking normal, too. Or maybe they were actually evil. Not just bad, just actually evil. There's still questionability between tier 1 and tier 0. There's literally no existence in current generation of affairs. current generation affair is YouTube. They don't exist there. Maybe they barely exist on social media. And it's just like an entry point of like where I can contact you to say, hey, YouTube is happening. Stay tuned, buddy. I accidentally happened on YouTube, and I literally haven't seen a single fucking person post there consistently at all. Nobody I know posts on YouTube at all. So that is the scariest thing for me. Even one person, and one person that helped me a little bit, and he collected like 300 subscribers by the time I checked. That was it. Alright, that was his recruitment. Hey, tier 1 person, you know? Wow. Too bad he's crippled. So who knows if he's tier 1. Maybe he's cheating. Being crippled is a fucking cheat code. I don't like that. Alright? Go figure yourself out. Still have legs? How do they not work? Alright? Make them work. Then we're gonna talk. Yeah, it's like, well, you don't need legs to make YouTube videos. And maybe you do. Maybe you fucking do, actually. So, I don't think I actually found a legit tier 1 person either. So, I'm not talking about tier 2, where I am. Tier 1. Not evil. What? Yes. The people who actually exist. Those sort of people who I put on tier 1 list because now I meet them because I open up the entire world of possibilities, not just, people that are around me. Which is so scary that the world would look so fucking empty and shit. Man, that's so stupid. I still gonna keep myself some time just in case for an insight, so see you guys then. I think it's gonna be a fair move to make, that every single day I make either one lesson to myself, meaning that I put myself into this fucking field of view, where I need to maybe double check a few things, right, for myself, and have to do it in private, obviously. Even though proof of work is pretty useful for me. On the second thought, if I do have an idea I want to implement, like drag and drop objects around, which is the latest addition that I want to do, just pick up an object with a mouse and drop it somewhere else. Yesterday I was doing blocks looking at you, basically, the look at function that Unity has internally but not externally, so I had to remake one of those functions. And if I run the engine, it looks quite wacky, I would say. I still have to do it just because I can. Just because it loads very quickly as well. Or so I say. It's quickly enough. So everything looks back at you, like directly back at you. If you look down, it does this effect. And holy shit, it looks fucking trippy. For sure. But in general, it looks kind of okay. Flat shapes making up the world. Doesn't look half bad, actually. So, it does make you wonder, I would say. Also makes me wonder why it doesn't black out. Normally it blacks out. Like these top parts. Blacks out or just throws... I don't know, man. I guess I dodged that bullet. No, it is interesting, actually. How does this work? So well. That I'm so proud of my creation. So, alright, that's cool. We looked at it one more time. We looked at it from a very, very weird angle, I would say. Where everything is a flat shape. With this Would this ever be useful? Or is this actually like super cool? I don't know. I don't necessarily like flat shapes. That's what happens when blocks stare right into your screen. And that successfully finishes my look at command. So, yeah, the next thing I'll do is just pick up the block and toss it somewhere else. And I don't want it to look at me at the moment, I actually think. There's a special limitation if I put in that it cannot look up too many degrees. It will look actually a little bit nicer, I would say. Or if it cannot look up at all, it would be a little bit weird, but it would still look nicer than a flat shape. We'll see. This kind of replaces the rotation, the constant rotation that I have normally. Also, the next thing that I'll be working on is figuring out how to do chunks. Because that shit is terrifying to me. Alright? You spawn a player, you have a chunk, and you have to spawn a kind of a circular area of chunks around the player. Now, with all this information, I really would love to just have an engine that I saw previously. The Earth in Unity, because that shit fucking blows my mind. It has literally everything that you would need for Minecraft type of game. And maybe anything else, honestly. And where my... But at the same time, I kind of like to stop myself from thinking about it. From teasing myself, because it's still pretty expensive. And maybe if I just make a game, maybe something cool happens. Who knows? I can't fucking predict my future of my work. I can only predict that I am capable of handling my happiness and not falling into depression too deep. And that's about it. And all that is just lots of boredom. And boredom is really, really painful. Two locks have appeared. And it makes me question, is survival hard enough already? So I can, in fact, prioritize the fun stuff first. And do the fun stuff first. And make sure that it keeps multiplying. It keeps happening in your life. You keep adopting new fun things to do. And not just throwing away for the sake of, like, becoming more mature in a way. Because that's not what life is about, clearly. Right? Life is about a lot of things evolving as much as possible. But your perspective has to evolve first. That's when will make things a lot easier. So, we definitely talked about, but it's it's important to emphasize how hard surviving is, obviously. So, I mean, every single day I have to think about food. I have to think about the routine things that I normally do, which is check RuneScape, check my subscriptions, check TikTok maybe sometimes, and then check all the girls in the world, because that's that's what I usually do when I have stamina for it. Alright? Spread my love everywhere, except in actual reality. Spread myself for myself. No, it's about, like, there's so many things already created that you have to pick up and appreciate, and that's a lot of work. But it's at least fun. Making things, not exactly fun. It's empowering, though. Surely. And you might actually be able to manufacture more fun for yourself and empower yourself even more and more. And pretty much, that's, I would call it build a home situation. You figure out how to build something that really lasts you a long time because it's so beneficial. So absolutely, throwing away work is not something I can possibly do. But surviving is hard enough, and it's like, think about it this way, right? If I'm tier 2, I'm gonna be still be sunken like this. And then I became tier 2 because potentially I suffered enough and I was sober enough in my life when I fucking broke through because of my pure power level. And this is so insane. The things that I'm doing it's quite insane when you compare it to a typical human being, I would say. So, yeah. Yes, typical programmer, sure, completely obliterates me. But a typical human being who wants to be noticed on YouTube and all that shit, wants to just hang out and find friends eventually, pretty good enough to be in tier 2 and actually put a little bit of work extra and treat that work as a piece of my, alternative survivability in a way. It's not necessarily something I can immediately release. For me, it's a cookie clicker, and let's keep it that way. Now, yeah, potentially once I implement a mouse click functionality, which is first of all for dragging objects around, maybe a little bit of... No, gravity is something I can't do right now. I have to make collisions as well, separately. I literally cannot use Unity for true functionality, because Unity cannot handle 1 million objects, and 1 million objects is like a base level, I would say, for my engine. If you cannot handle my base level, you're not going to be able to handle full potential of what I'm trying to do, which is like, it's completely pointless if you fail the first step. So Unity failing the first step and kind of asking you to program most of the things in a threaded format, that is already pretty painful, but it's something you have to learn now. I think it's going to transition very easily into doing just that. Everything being threaded, everything being like a very demanding of super efficient and smart coding possibilities. So, in a way, it is a better Minecraft if I figure it out over time. There's nothing that can come close, pretty much. Especially if I nail down if rendering number 3 is actually sufficient enough to come out, and I can actually do it. So that's also something I want to work on. Not just chunk loading, but I triple check whenever I can what can I do with rendering 3. Because if I can just get a little bit of information of how it works, if it's efficient at all, if it's useful at all, because that could potentially be very, very good. Knowing that if you distribute work evenly, and you get rid of all the grids, all the complexities, if you get good results out of that, it's a very useful thing to do. To just transition, because there's so much more optimization that you can do, potentially. Or so I think, so we'll see. More optimization and more variation of resolution. Because I already told, if you have a thing in a screen, you can cut it in 16 pieces, or you can cut it in 16 times 4 pieces, scaling up resolution 2 times quite easily, and just putting this thing in a different group as it goes. Potentially I do have to use the matrix. As I've said in the previous video, the matrix of certain amount of pixels just split into certain groups that deal with one object only, but that's like one object. And at the same time, it's kind of interesting. If you can make objects complicated enough, or like create them into like an object group, like we're like a chunk of objects, it still can be, you know, just like a crazy ass chunk. But if you're dealing with terrain, it will be just kind of a big object with tons of things happening there, but it's still just one object in a way. It's probably not exactly a good idea. A piece of terrain, maybe a piece of tree, the entire tree is an object. It could be nice that way. It might even be better than just generating chunks, but like everything is so interconnected at the moment that to take a breath, to rest one day, like it's inevitable. My brain is overloading just thinking of the next step that I have to make and the step after that, because none of this works. I literally gain no support from Unity whatsoever unless I actually use someone else's engine. So starting from ground up is just insanity. Absolutely. I think that's about it. We finished the rant video. Definitely still gonna be missing justice. When I was watching Crossfire, the movie, by Lauren Southern, about police and what they think about their work and what experiences they have about their work. Yeah, it's still the people's. People should be interested in this stuff, you know, in their own communities. I shouldn't just walk around the internet. I should care about where I live and how to improve this place a little bit more. But maybe I don't want to live here, honestly. Maybe I also want options too. So either one of those things have to start happening, or both at the same time, to help me elevate myself from not being cared for. It's like, Jesus Christ, the best charity is just caring of what kind of help you can actually provide to people. What kind of care first. Care comes first. Listening, putting stories together, compiling information. This sort of care comes first, and you have to first attract people, obviously, and let them tell their stories, and then encourage other people to come through. It's almost like a crippled pet or a forest. I mean, literally, it's almost like being born is now you're in the middle of a forest. You need someone to fucking feed you. And then slowly you're gonna gain your strength and recover. Feed you things. A new government has to come in and actually, you know, give you free stuff, but in the exchange of actually caring for you, not in the exchange of like, hey, take some free stuff so you can survive. It's, I don't know. No one should really help you survive that too much. But it's just so painful. Like, what the fucking life is this? Jesus Christ. How did people come this far in the first place and multiply it at the same time? We definitely didn't multiply, but how the fuck this country was not pulverized into fucking ash? You know? If you make a few mistakes, someone should have been taking advantage of that. I think that's the real justice that is missing, you know? overpowering losers, basically. That sort of justice. And you would think that's a call for war, and that's not it at all. You know, but I think the worst part of justice is the fact that justice is now controlled by the government. That means that we're so fucking lazy, we just let someone else handle it as a job. Not exactly contribute to justice, we just let it be handled. And whenever we asked, it's like, hey guys, do this preemptive voting syndrome so you actually care about us, so we don't just, become evil and corrupt and destroy ourselves in a civil war. That's what voting is for. Just so you can care about the government. It's just everything is so desperately trying to empower the government so we care, when in reality I think government is shifting from how it truly exists into, anyone who wants it right now, because doing government work seems like fun, but like nobody wants to do it. And I'm pretty much kind of doing it as a YouTube authority right now, at least acting as such, and I think that's pretty much enough in that sense. Pretty much enough, because nobody would want to actually do it. Believe me, no one wants to fucking do it properly. To the point where, like, hey, we still have to discuss every single step of the way that we went into, alright? Censoring people, blocking people, banning people. Every single move we made might have been a mistake, and we have to bring back the history down all the way to zero to be able to actually observe every single move and maybe shift history a little bit. We have to be able to have those super fucking powers. First of all, to say fucking in the first place. To say words like porn, are you kidding me? People censor themselves from that. And we might have pushed history this way, but we have to bring ourselves back and be able to actually shift history quite significantly, because it could have been derailed a little bit. Yes, we can do it from here as well, but then we have to, change things a lot more than just initial step. We change that a little bit and we kind of follow through. Or we kind of retrace, maybe, make a jump slowly, based out of reason, because like you don't want to go back all the way. You kind of want to just go to where you belong. But that's the whole point. That's the level of authority that someone can hold, is just to have a perception of what would happen if the history was a little bit differently written, right? Because there's tons of random events that you can manipulate on and off, and eventually you end up in a better place. And if you just keep going forward, which is like the easy thing to do, you end up doing shit. And I'm just making YouTube even worse place as people know it's happening. The censorship on the internet is so painful. It has to be fair in some ways. It has to make sense. I know nobody actually can make sense of that anymore. Unless you work tons of hours and eventually you figure it out. So that's what I try to do. Because I have nothing better to do, so I'll just pick up the most hardest thing to do in life that are available to me. Because not everything is available either. Right? It's just such a weird turn of events where also like no help is available either. Nobody willing to actually help and show up in full potential of who they're supposed to be, not just embarrassment to me. is countless sheets of papers of names that are just embarrassing for me to remember those people. It's fucking crazy. I'm not embarrassing to myself, but that's just because I handle boredom in a different way. I picked up this fucking thing, and in a way, it was like, yes, guys, I know I'm embarrassing to you guys too. Too bad we have nothing we can do about it. Alright? The best we can do is survive as well. And learning that skill is like the most important part as well. That it fucking works properly. And the other stuff, the main stuff that bothers me, anything that bothers me, or anything that I pick up as like extra level of work that I have to do that is not easy, it's not worthwhile, none of it makes fucking sense, but I still have to do it. So it does make sense eventually. Cool. And you know, I have to put myself in a self-esteem that I feel I have every day. If nothing else happens, if no opportunities show up, if opportunities are being stripped away, as if we're in a fucking challenge mode of Hunger Games, well, I guess it's about time to figure it all out. You know, keep figuring things out. Now, like, yeah, it's crazy how surviving is now even harder than we thought. All of a sudden, just pure survival. It gets a little bit harder for no fucking reason. And the worst offenders of all is just anyone who loves to having pets and babies. They just love that shit. Alright? Pushing that shit out as if they fucking deserve it. You know? As if they conjured a society around them. Maybe around them, sure, a society. Because social pressure is very easy to conjure. I'm pretty sure. All you have to do is a mindless fucking monkey and poke a bunch of people because you want attention and you don't feel bad for wanting attention. And most importantly, it's just women have free fall on that shit. Alright? But it's just even more difficult. Like, what does that mean? Why would men be so obsessed with women that they just surround women and they can just craft their society? And it's almost like it's an apocalyptical scenario where we're just fucking weak now. Because women are absolutely abusing us and treating us as shields and not much else. Because it's like if you surround yourself with men, one man becomes hostile and everyone turns into a shield all of a sudden. I'll protect you from this one person. No, she should have not consented surrounding herself with all random men. And all of a sudden, so you don't like something, and it potentially is dangerous, and it's potentially fucking stupid. That you thought it was a good idea in the first place, not to do it slowly, one by one, you know? If that's the fucking frustration that I have for sure. Alright? So the final frustration I'll write down. If women cared on people one by one, I would not be left out. And at the same time, just respect simple statistics, okay? Just very simple statistics. If I have never had a girlfriend, maybe there's something wrong, and maybe there's more people like myself too out there that are really not losers. They just have lost other people's patience, alright? It's like, you're losing your patience. I guess I'll help you lose your patience. Go somewhere else, because you didn't found me. It's like, you know, it's a ghost stalk. Because they never found you, so you're not actually saying anything to them. You're not showing a virgin card. Hey, I was never in adventures what do I do? Where do I go? Where do I go to start my adventure? Because I know at some point, I'm old enough to where, like, I can push away all those fucking 16-year-olds, 19-year-olds, get the fuck out of my face, okay? Let me do my shit right now, alright? I waited a long time, and it's not supposed to be a line in the first place. It's supposed to be a feeling that you open for that adventure. Very simple. But again, if women are not doing their fucking job properly, if they just love attention, they can be blacked out very easily by just random men surrounding them. So who knows what they want, and who knows how big of predators they are, because I have never made a move on a girl besides writing a book about a girl I liked and the feelings I had. Literally the same thing. I made a rant video in a different format. Alright, in a book format. I had to rant. I was like, I'm gonna be patient, guys, but I will gonna fucking turn crazy into how patient you have to be to get anything out of anything. Any attention whatsoever out of anything. Alright? You have to drive yourself crazy. And that's how people fucking build society right now, currently. Our population makes things worse, because, like, if people grow up needing attention, and all they do is learn that one thing that earns them attention, that's terrifying, because for some people it might not work, and it might cripple them, and it might deliberate them. And what if they're shy, right? What if they're sensitive? And what if that all of a sudden becomes the biggest curse ever? You have been shy and you haven't been snowballing your attention, and all of a sudden you're kind of automatic reject as well. Who knows? Like, you never know what kind of rules to follow. You never know if your parents are good enough or not. And as a fucking growing child, just learning about all the random factors that are in your life, fucking overwhelming already. It's already overwhelming. You can't fucking blame me for anything. But still people find ways to do that too, which is absolutely amazing. Blame me, fucking push me out into over 18. Now we're gonna fucking blame you even harder for everything. Now everything is wrong. Everything you do is fucking wrong. If you don't have a job, it's wrong. If you don't know where society is, it's definitely fucking wrong. And yet I don't have any of this. I don't have any security. If people are so fucking smart, they should be able to share their fucking adventures and let me go through, a kindergarten level of the same thing that you did, but I can just follow through your steps that you did. I should be able to do that instead of everything is logged behind education. A highway of education. You have to go through, 12 years of something, or 4 years, or have to go fucking 2 years, figure out how to get to those 4 years, and fucking bullshit. No, there should be simple steps. If there's none of that shit is happening, if people are really so self-centered right now, and they don't see jack shit, and all that happens is they spit out a fucking baby, which should turn into demon eventually, That's now my new patience mode. It's like, let's wait for demon babies, because that's the only thing that can save us right now. The only thing that can save us is demon babies. Alright? Just children that turn into absolute impossible things to deal with because you were a terrible parent, rightfully so, because you were totally fucking ignorant to the outside world that children have to experience by default. There's no escape from that. So what adults do, they just cover themselves up. Now I'm gonna be shy after I have done everything. Now I can be as shy as I fucking want. All of a sudden, right? You reversed your growth. You fucking cocooned yourself into a shithead, basically, that I cannot talk to. I cannot interact with. I don't even know if you fucking exist right now. It's that fucking situation. And right now, we just have YouTube as a bunch of social anomalies working working against authority, pretty much, because they're useless. All right, they're fucking useless to me, as I observe. And I'll make hit pieces. I'll try and fucking burn the shit out of them, if they even have any value left. You know, now I'm kind of looking at scarcity more than, oh, I've subscribed to someone, now I have something to look forward to. It's absolutely not the case. So all the work that I've done, all the survivor work doesn't go away jack shit. This extra thing on top is just to make me feel better. But honestly, the real work is to always figure out what the fuck are people doing around me? Why can I not find a person that resonates to my level? It's unbelievable. You know? And it's not like I have to find them. I exist. I just simply fucking exist, alright? I need maybe a word of encouragement of like, hey, you should exist on this fucking place. You know, you're doing okay. But right now, internet is such a cesspool of bullshit that you can't quite exist on the internet, because internet does not use proximity tools either, right? We don't know who's the loudest voice of all time, who's uploading the most videos in your area. If I could fucking get that statistic right now, I would be able to immediately make friends, because I know immediately who's doing what. And so this fucking Pokemon Go adventure will begin eventually. You know, Pokemon Go was just a tease of like, oh my god, we figured everything out, and then we somehow fucking lost it, you know? How come Pokemon Go didn't went anywhere? You know, like, what the fuck happened? It's unbelievable, and this is such a big question to me that I just gonna put a star and say goodbye to you guys, because fuck. This rant is not going away, apparently. And it's the same thing, obviously, over and over again. My parents suck, the environment sucks, I have depression, they can put blame on me, I have tons and tons of work that doesn't pay, I just suffering on so many levels. Certain amount of work has been done, but this work definitely has not been done and has been neglected, and I have to do it at least as much as I can possibly handle it. Because like if I have work, I am automatically happy no matter how angry I am. I'm still fucking happy, basically, because I have something to do, and there's nothing I can do about it. I cannot fix my mood. I am still angry, but I'm at least satisfied. Alright, just with anger alone. So, in a way, happiness is kind of nothing, right? Happiness is an emotion of nothing. Is a middle thingy right there, in between all those four other things. Well, happy, yeah. But happiness is not something you're gonna achieve anytime soon. So you just have to be okay with the emotion that you have. And for me, it's anger, okay? That's who I am. Some people are ecstatically happy about everything for no fucking reason. Some people are super sad. And that's still satisfying to them, to be sad and upset about something constantly. And some people are okay being amazed by triangles. Alright? Oh my god, there's another triangle! Oh my god, where did it come from? Does Illuminati finally confirm me? And will tell me all those fucking things that they know about life? Yes, maybe one day. But, you know, you have to be satisfied with what you have, and it's not, I know it's like, it's gonna be very repetitive, but you're capable of transcending that to some degree, and that's also very much a part of your work, to actually learn of how to conjure different emotions. If you get bored, it's just naturally what you do, and this is why I picked up multiple personalities, to cope with this. And it's not a disorder, guys. Multiple personality disorder. If you repeat it enough times, you're gonna pick up that scientific sneeze term. Alright? Fucking, I hate science. I hate everything that makes things less fun and attractive. You know, religion is not attractive anymore. God is not attractive. Fuck your stupid shit, dude. Just follow things that you know are uplifting and not breaking down your point of view. And doesn't make you spit hatred when you barely know what the fuck that fucking is, to be angry and spit hatred. Because spitting hatred is actually quite hard when you're angry. When you're angry, you just want to close off and leave people alone, and it's like, I'm not gonna participate in this. That's, you say no to a lot of things immediately, and you go off into your safe space, workspace, whatever space you have, you're just gonna do that. But you reject basically all kinds of relationships, even though you would love to have them. And because you would love to have relationships, but you're rejecting them, that means, you know, it's a big loss. It's a big loss. And if they don't check me, if they don't poke me, whether I would be willing to have a relationship, but I just don't have a relationship right now, if I would love to, if they don't poke me for that, I'm sorry, it's gonna get even worse. I'm gonna get even angrier, and I'm gonna be like, whoa, you don't even fucking give a fuck in the first place. I could have dropped this relationship, nothing would have fucking changed, and that's how life works right now. This fucking thing does not even exist, or isn't acknowledged at all. I don't get poked, I don't exist in people's lives, so how can you achieve that level of jail cell mentality? It's unbelievable. You know, it doesn't matter whether I make good points or not. It matters if you fucking respond. You, the viewer. Holy shit, right? I'm gonna start making TikToks. No, I can't. I can make TikToks. Eventually, yes, my videos are gonna shrink down into TikTok size, because it's gonna try and punch people in the face. But essentially, I don't want to do that. It's not worth the effort, I would say. I don't want to just be popular, you know. I want to prove my points, that it's just impossible to discover me. And that's where my journey pretty much ends. The discovery process. I don't want to go through that discovery process. I want to have it. I want to press that button, hey, discover me, just because I pressed this button. And that's about it. I want to put my effort into this. It doesn't involve me clickbaiting people. It doesn't involve me... in a way, I want to clickbait people. I pressed the button, so I clickbaited myself to clickbait other people into joining this whole fucking adventure. Share your adventure. It's not a cult. You can build a cult around me if I'm a good person. You can figure that one out. But you can't call it a cult. And it's the most painful thing. Is like people just give off pain to you as if they have nothing better to do. They're just the most painful pieces of shit out there. That's what disappointing people do. And then they disappear because that's all they had. They throw pain and that's it. You know, it's like, my story is over. And it's like, well, that's an interesting experience, but it's completely useless to me. It just, you know, generated some random material again. Like every day does. You know, and everyone has pain. I can see pain in YouTube because I see it in myself. Because nothing changed in my life just because I watched a video. You know, I can see pain. So, yeah, the rant video is never gonna go away. I just don't know how to get rid of that same repeating context. But it's like, it explains itself, right? I'm angry, I did this whole thing of like, I would love to have it, and I come as close as possible to your face, and I say no, and I turn around, and I fucking go my way, basically, and I sit in my fucking apartment and do whatever the fuck I like, you know, with that face that I just saw, alright, and this is what happens, you know, I can, you know, peel off a bunch of Instagram profiles and run away with that peels. Oh, I just found a bunch of peels. Obviously, it's annoying. It is not an outdoors experience, which probably might have to change for me eventually. Just look into people's faces and then and that's what I'm peeling off basically constantly in the outside world. Just look around in people's faces and if someone says you want something, yeah, I want to see that face right now. Oh, that's cool. Peeled it off. Obviously, taking pictures is a lot nicer, but you can take mental pictures to some extent. It's not exactly easy, but you can do it. So there's probably some practical moves that I have to make to show how angry I am and that I'm not willing to have relationships with people anymore. It's just so terrifying. But how about you can do that on Tinder now? Does Tinder work? To some degree it works, and it works exactly the same way. People throw pain at you, and that's where the story ends. I think I still have to stick with Tinder and re-add it into my special little list of things that I have to do, but I literally don't have stamina for it. And at the same time, like, if I lose stamina, does that mean I can just pretend that I don't have to do anything extra anymore that day? Well, no, I still have to make rant videos. I think, stamina goes here. So everything that's fucked up about society is probably because I'm a man, and that's the biggest fucked up thing ever. There's no society because you're a man, and until you have a girl, she will introduce society to you, so while you don't have her, you're completely screwed, basically, is what happens. Okay, I can accept that. I'll just live patiently and pretend that I'm slowly getting closer and closer to getting a girl just because of a natural investment that I have to do just to survive, just to remain sane, basically. So that makes sense. Alright, and on top of that, I do this, and then I do my stupid work a little bit to not completely obliterate my identity as a programmer. But that's about it. I am already a smart person. I don't have to fucking prove myself to anyone, because I can already improve their lives. So unless they can actually improve my life, what are we comparing right now? Because they have to, a girl that actually enters my life actually has to have a societal pack, alright? A package that just trade in, and all I do is just give some smart things back, basically. And that's usually covered by my rant videos. They wouldn't fucking play my games in the first place. What's the fucking point, right? Unless they were watching to get some money. It's pretty ridiculous, actually, in that sense. So in a way, yes, Tinder would be one of those only ways. One of the only ways to do Pokemon Go without screwing myself over. It's literally the only hope, so I should be pumping as much effort into it as possible. And again, I wouldn't be discovering this unless I make a rant video. And in the end, that's the conclusion, alright? Yes, let's not give up on Tinder, which is what it is. It's just a piece of work that I have to go through, but I'm getting traumatized at this point. I'm like, I don't have any passion for this at all. The only thing I have is like maybe look at all these different faces and like them and kind of not respond to them whatsoever until women are becoming more and more vocal, because they're the ones being tortured right now with all this social distancing, okay? They're the ones dying real fast in terms of what values they have. Social distancing kills women, alright? Not men. Men are fine, I think. Yes, we get angry and we can actually explode out of anger and start doing fucking nonsense things, but it would still be nonsense things. But for me, women, they just lose everything, I would say. So if they don't feel that frustration and they're not becoming increasingly more vocal about what's going on and of what they actually feel like they need, well, good luck. I have not seen a strong enough woman to just jump into my Discord before, so that's not happening. I do publicize it now, and I have to show hundreds of arrows. It's like, just jump in there. This is the way to fucking chat. Tinder is definitely a shitty way to chat as well. It's ridiculous. It's like, oh, new notification on my fucking tiny keyboard that I can barely handle. I misclick over and over again on my stupid tablet. Ridiculous. It's so uncomfortable. And yes, I probably have to just put up Tinder here instead, right? And hope for the best. Log in. Wow. You really fucking handle this properly, do you? So we can kind of do it now. Just kind of get ourselves a peace of mind, basically. If you read... Yeah, if you know how to read, am I right? You can become a part of my social circle. Congratulations. Yeah, I think that's the best that I can do, basically. That shit's inspiring, in a way. That it's like a confirmation, right? Instant confirmation. The most disgusting part is obviously I can't have a nice picture of myself. To me, it's a game over. I would just have a good picture if I fucking have a girlfriend. It's very simple, dude. And I did liked every single person for like 3 months. Alright, and I have like 5 conversations out of that. Or like 10 conversations that I can remember. Or have saved potentially. Like 1, 2, 3 maybe. Maybe 3. I mean 4 or 5. There's some blocks actually. Some people just never respond to big blocks of text. And so on. It gets weird. It gets fucking weird. The most disgusting part is commitment part that it has to be fixed. Is like, how do we not break the connection just because we can? You know, this is the stupidest fucking thing, but it is its own lock. I have no comment about it. You know, the missing commitment piece is so painful. That's about it. I can't move any forward. The only question is like, am I gonna fucking review Belle Delphine now? Is that what I'm doing? Do I give a fuck? Cause that's what I'm going in full force. If I do this again, it's one of those 1 hour pieces. I don't know. I would love to do it. Except Belle Delphine is not actually a YouTuber. She's very much an influencer, and it stretches my circle a little bit more, so it's very important to do it. It's almost like the all four of these people were not actually directly YouTube influencers. There was a streamer, there was a TV show host, there's fucking an orange, so animation, that also bleeds out into television and as a kids show more and less of a general YouTube influence. And then you have Belle Delphine that bleeds out into porn, and I think I want to cover that corner too, in hopes that these are in fact four corners in a way. Although it would be kind of weird, because you have to redefine a little bit of like what Dr. Phil is. But because it's so interesting, maybe that alone is gonna be good enough narrative for me to start with the next video. So might as well fucking do it.